Well, well, well. The hype train, it's not going to stop for the Dallas Cowboys. If you don't like the Dallas Cowboys being hyped up, I don't know what to tell you. The hype train for the Dallas Cowboys is not going to stop. And I understand why people are hyping up the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm talking about people outside of the Dallas Cowboys. The reason why the Dallas Cowboys are being hyped up, it's very simple, is that a lot of people on the outside are actually realizing, or they are actually acknowledging that the Dallas Cowboys have made incredible moves this offseason, this free agency, this draft. The Dallas Cowboys have made incredible moves, even when you think about the coaching staff. You can get mad, you can get glad with a heavyweight trash bag. But I'm telling you right now, until the Dallas Cowboys start losing, this hype train, not only is it not going to stop from everybody out there, oh yeah, and from me, it's not going to stop until the Cowboys start losing. And I don't think they're going to start losing. Let's talk Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. Choo choo! Let the hype train continue. Understand what the hype train is. For you people who keep saying pump the brakes, we ain't pumping the brakes over here. We're not pumping the brakes. Do we have to see it on the field? We're going to see it on the field. But nevertheless, the hype train is for a very specific reason. People are just simply saying they like what the Dallas Cowboys are doing. Yeah, welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And as you come into this live stream, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you'll know the next time we post another video or go live. And if you haven't become a channel member subscriber yet, what are you waiting on? For the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl? We'll let you jump on the bandwagon even then too. But if you haven't become a channel member subscriber, what are you waiting on? We have a lot of great things coming up on this channel this season. Now let's talk facts. I'm telling us, Cowboys fans, some of us, we want it every which way but the right way. We get mad when people criticize the Cowboys. Now we get mad because people are hyping up the Cowboys. Which one is it? Which one is it? We don't know whether to be happy or sad. We say we want the Cowboys to do things different. Then they start moving different. Then we start saying they're not moving different. People on the outside saying they're moving different, but the Cowboys fans are now saying they're not moving different. We don't know what we want, it seems, as Dallas Cowboy fans. We don't seem to know what we want. I know what I want, and I believe we're going to get it. I want to see a Super Bowl up under Brian Schottenheimer and Dak Prescott. I want to see it, and I believe we're going to see it, and I believe we are watching the moves to obtain it. And that's why the hype train is not going to stop from people on the outside. Every time the Cowboys win, watch what I tell you. Every time the Cowboys win, that hype train is going to accelerate. There is no other way to get around it. That hype train is going to accelerate. I don't know, I might be driving the train. I've been here from the beginning. I told y'all, Super Bowl 2026, no later than 27. I see it coming. Let me tell you what we're going to be talking about today. Dak Prescott. ESPN, once again, is talking about Dak Prescott and the MVP conversation. And I'm going to tell you why this may actually come to fruition based on the way these voters kind of vote. Next, we had a conversation yesterday. We were talking about George Pickens being better than CeeDee Lamb right now. Not his entire body of work. Just very simple. Just right now. George Pickens is coming off an incredible season. First season with the Dallas Cowboys. Well, Jeremy Fowler now is talking about something that an insider said about George Pickens. Then, Von Miller. I got a snippet from Von Miller. And when I'm listening to Von Miller, it almost sounds like to me, he's talking about the Dallas Cowboys. He's having a conversation with Max Crosby, and Max Crosby is talking to him about free agency. And I'm gonna let y'all hear it, and y'all tell me what y'all think. I think he's talking about the Dallas Cowboys. We're gonna see how this turns out. Then we got a quick hit from Rashawn Gary. Just showing you that Rashawn Gary is in beast mode right now. I'm excited for Rashawn Gary and what I think he's going to do for this team this season. Then we're going to finally get to the Mina Kimes Power Ranks, if you hadn't already seen them. The Jason Garrett interview on the Rich Eisen show talking about the Dallas Cowboys. And then I'm going to show you something strange about the top 100 players. I'm going to blow y'all's mind today on this conversation about the top 100 players that they're putting together. And this is voted on by the players. And I'm going to blow y'all mind on something that I'm going to show you that nobody is talking about and what this could possibly mean for the Dallas Cowboys. Then we're going to talk about the 20 greatest coaches. And not actually the 20 greatest, but there are some Dallas Cowboys coaches on the 20 greatest coaches. And I'm going to talk about Brian Schottenheimer in that conversation. And then I'm going to show you something that Michael Irvin posted, or somebody posted that Michael Irvin said. And I'm going to show you based on what Michael Irvin said. I'm going to show you what a championship mentality looks like and how those 90s Cowboys, I think they got a lot of resentment of how things went down with Jimmy Johnson back in the day. I really think they have some resentment. But that's the show for today. The show is absolutely packed, and we are going to get to all these things today and possibly even more next on Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Yeah! Let's go! I'm telling y'all, the hype train, it's not going to stop. We can get mad, we can get glad with a heavyweight trash bag, but the hype train behind the Dallas Cowboys, it's not going to stop. It's just not going to stop. Let's get this roll call in. What is going on? My sister, the Queen, is first in the chat. What up, Queen? Queen says, G, MVP sounds good to me. Dak deserves that. I believe he will get it this season. Number 4. Hey, Queen. And I'm going to tell you why I believe he's going to get it. We're going to talk about it today. What up, John Henry? Good to see you. Jeremy. What up, Jeremy? Jeremy Betts. He said he hope everybody having a great day. What up, Jeremy? There will be blood. What up? There will be blood. Marvin Mays is in the building. What up? Ruffin 8385. What's going on? Yeah, I think Dak has already proven his haters wrong, but he's going to continue. I agree with you. Michael Tyree. What up, Michael Tyree? Yeah, I think it's going to be a great season. Jason Farley, what is going on? Richard Owens, what's up? Dolores Ennis. Chef Pope, what up, Chef Pope? Dak Prescott in the building. What up, Dak? Real estate vet. Hey, man, we got rain over here, bro. Tell me what it's like over there in Las Vegas. They done cooled it down in the Metroplex. What up, Gregory Hicks? Demetrius Noel, what's going on? Dak Prescott said, welcome to Let's Talk Cowboys, and we talk facts. Come here and hit the like button. Let your opinion be heard, and please keep the chat clean. Ronnie Dub. What's going on, Ronnie Dub? Quinn, what up, Quinn? Marlon Dillard. 72 Chevelle pulled up to the congregation. What up, 72 Chevelle? Terry Tatum. Yes, sir. Get mad, get glad with that weight trash bag. That's what we used to say when we was young. Jimmy Bailey, what up? All right. Rail 910 said he has started his Cowboys channel. Rail 9, drop the link in the chat. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to Rail 9. I'm sure he's doing Cowboys content. It's enough room for everybody. Gwen Bowden, happy Thursday. What's going on? Yeah, we got them bandwagons ready. We got them ready, Clarence Baldwin. What's up? The champ is here. What up, the champ? He said he don't want Von Miller. Man, I'm telling you, I think he wants the Cowboys. Dominique, what's up? He said time will tell. I'm gonna tell you right now. I agree with you, time will tell. But the hype train not stopping. And I'm telling you, I think the hype train is going to be even more ferocious once they get to Oxnard, California, and they see these Cowboys executing. It's going to just get bigger and bigger. Clarence Baldwin, what's up? Carl Williams, what up? Ty Howard in the building, what up? Gwen Bowden, yeah, we're going to get that bandwagon ready. JCT, he said, I doubt it because the media hates the Cowboys. Let me tell you something. They are riding that hype train. We heard it yesterday when the guy was talking about George Pickens. He said he believes the Cowboys are Super Bowl contenders. There are a lot of people who are saying this, JCT Slice. This is a different year. And I just think what they're doing, they're just acknowledging the moves the Cowboys have made. That's all they're doing. Bobby Council, what up? Big Dal 8604, what up? Phyllis, what up? Teddy Drake. Miss Matrix. I tried hard last night. I wound up going out to eat after Bible study. Didn't get home till 10:30, Miss Matrix. 10:30. By the time I got home, I'm sorry to say, man was throwing sand in my eyes, ears, nose, everything. Man, I'll do better. I'm telling you, I'll do better. What's up, Alan the Rebel? William Dansby, what up? Larry Hunter. Randy Jackson, what is up? Stephen White in the building, what is going on? Jaden Justin, what is going on? Good to see you. Jeremy Betts, he said, I've been hyping and ain't trying to hear nothing from nothing, no one. I'm with you. Yes, sir. What up, Louis Steve? Bass. What up, Bass? Good to see you. Jane Ward. Man, okay, we about to be finished with our introductions. Caitlin, what's going on? All right. Appreciate y'all rocking with me today, man. We got a great show. We got a great show for today. What's up, Eric Folk? What's going on? What's going on, Gerald Jackson? What's going on, fam? Man, we got a great show today. I'm telling you right now, we got a great show today. Dak MVP incoming.
Yeah! Here we go!
I'm telling y'all right now, this is going to be a constant conversation. This will be a constant conversation unless the Cowboys start failing. This is going to be a constant conversation in 2026. And the reason being is, last year, I think it was the wake-up call for a lot of people in this league. A lot of people in this league, they actually are realizing that after all this time, Dak Prescott actually hasn't been the problem. They're realizing it. And this is why you're hearing so much more hype about Dak Prescott. Because people are acknowledging, they're now looking not just at last year, people are starting to realize after looking at Dak Prescott's body of work that Dak Prescott has actually been him. He's been him. The issue with the Dallas Cowboys has been they have not put together a team. And when I'm talking about a team is simple. When the front office, the ownership, the coaching staff, and the players, they're all bought in and they are all moving towards a common goal. Jerry has failed to put together teams. Jerry has not failed to put together talent. Those are two different things. Jerry hasn't failed putting together talent. Jerry has failed at putting together teams. If he had the defense, he didn't have the offense. If he had the offense, he didn't have the defense. If he had the offensive coordinator, he didn't have the defense coordinator. If he had the defensive coordinator, he didn't have the offensive coordinator. If he had the offensive coordinator and maybe the defense coordinator, then he didn't get the kind of players that they should have had on the team at the point in time. It's always been like Jerry hasn't been able to put it all together. But here we are now. Dak Prescott's, I think, 11th season, 32 years of age. He has endured the test of time. He has been the constant of this Dallas Cowboys era. He has been the constant. And now Jerry Jones is deciding, now we're going to put the Super Bowl team together around Dak Prescott. You know, I say better late than never. But I still say in 2016, when Dak Prescott and Zeke had the season they had in 2016, Jerry should have loaded up in 2017. But here's the issue. None of us can do anything about that. That's in the past. There is nothing you can do about the past. You can't live in the past. Only thing you can do is learn from the past. And I believe that Jerry seems to have learned from this point, learned from the past in this era, and now he's trying to really put that team together around Dak Prescott. And it looks like it's coming together really well. It really does. Yeah, Eric Folks, including special teams. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah. So it looks like now they are finally putting that team together around Dak Prescott. And this is one of the reasons why the hype train is so, the hype train, you can just, you can hear it pulling out of the station, man. Every time somebody says something, they keep talking about, you know, hey, how good they believe the Cowboys are going to be. And this hype train ain't going to stop. Big Dal said, did the same thing with Romo, waited too late. His saving grace is Dak take care of himself way better. Big Dal, that's a great point. Because Tony Romo, that was one thing I had against Tony Romo. Tony Romo just didn't. Tony Romo was wanting to play golf in the offseason, and Tony Romo just didn't hone in the way Dak Prescott is honed in. And I think one of the reasons why Dak Prescott is honed in is that he's probably looked at the success of Tom Brady. And when you look at the success of Tom Brady and how Tom Brady was taking care of his body for those last few years of his career, Dak Prescott said, hey, I'm going to do the same thing. And so I think Dak's going to have probably another 4 to 5 years if he wants them. Jeremy Betts said, can't get right with everything at the same time. Always one or two, but not the other you needed. Shaking my head. And Jeremy Betts, but if you just keep going and if you just keep pushing, you just might get everything right. And it looks like the Cowboys are on their way. It looks like the Cowboys are on their way. They're not done. Larry Hunter said, Jerry Eyes is on the clock. No, he's on the right side of the mountain. Yes, sir. I agree with that, too. All right. So this is ESPN over here today. They were talking about Dak Prescott. And talking about Dak Prescott in the MVP conversation. Check this out.
An MVP season from the Dallas Cowboys quarterback.
I will be disappointed if in December Dak Prescott's not in the conversation. It doesn't mean he's going to win, but I think he's going to be top 3, top 5 at worst. You look at his numbers last year, offensively, no issue driving the ball down the field. Probably the best play-action passer in all of football for long stretches of last season. When he threw to his top targets, George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb down the field, it was about 15 yards per play when he's in play action. Those are video game type of numbers. I think he's unbelievable. I had Jason Garrett on my show yesterday, and he said that Dak Prescott might be one of the most underappreciated players in football. I'll go further. I think he's the most underappreciated because he's become a punchline, okay? He's become a punchline because of the sins of Jerry Jones's roster building and Cowboys fans who always overhype their team. But this year, when you look...
What did this guy just say? This is my first time listening to this. What did he just say? Dak's been a victim of Jerry Jones' team building. Yes, I've been saying this. Jerry didn't fail to put talent around Romo. He didn't fail to put talent around Dak. Where he failed is putting teams around those two quarterbacks. That's where he failed. Now, I will say this about Tony Romo. Tony Romo did have a couple of teams that you kind of look at and go, man, Romy, you probably should have took them teams to the Super Bowl, Romy. Romy had a couple of teams, y'all. Romo actually had a couple of teams that you kind of look at and go, wow. Romy, you didn't take those teams to the Super Bowl? That year the Giants went to the Super Bowl and beat the Patriots? Romy had a year, man. I'm telling you, Romy had a year. Now, Dak Prescott 2016 rookie season, man, that was a lot. Going up against, Romy went up against Eli Manning. Dak Prescott went up against Aaron Bleeping Rodgers in his prime. Man, you're talking about two different animals. You're talking about two different animals. And so Jerry should have loaded up in 2016. But hey, you know what? Can't do anything about the past. And I think something else he said is important. The Dallas Cowboy fan base. Hyping up the Dallas Cowboys. Now, what does he mean by that? I believe what he's saying is hyping up the Dallas Cowboys team and putting all the onus on Dak Prescott in ways that we never did Troy Aikman. Putting the weight of the entire franchise on the shoulders of Rain Dakota Prescott. That's what he's talking about with the fan base. So now we're watching Dak Prescott, and they're finally starting to put the team around him. And they have done, and I'm going to tell you something. This is why I believe that this team is going to do something that they didn't do with the Romy team. Because this is the first time in a long time. I've told y'all this for a couple of years now. It always felt like on this team, it was three different teams. It was the offense coordinator's offense, the defensive coordinator's defense, and the special teams coach special teams. And you could get two of the three, but it was like you could never get three of the three. When Mike was here, it almost seemed like it was like Mike and Dan Quinn, they were on two different teams. Then we brought in that guy from, what was his name? Fossil? Brought him in from the Patriots, and he thought he was the best thing since sliced bread. Out there running fake punts on his own side of the field against the Atlanta Falcons. This dude here. It's like we could never, even in the Garrett era, Jerry hired Jason Garrett, knowing full well that he wanted Jason Garrett to be the head coach. So it was like it was Garrett against Wilson. It seems like it's been just a non-cohesive unit for years. The last truly cohesive unit we saw for the Dallas Cowboys was Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy hired all those coaches, and they would run through a wall for Jimmy Johnson. And their motive was not becoming a head coach in this league first. Their motive first was winning a Super Bowl for and with the Dallas Cowboys. That's what Jimmy Johnson's coaching staff was about. We didn't start hearing about Jimmy's coaching staff until Jimmy started putting skins on the wall. And then when Jimmy put them skins on the wall, that's when, after Jimmy left, some of those coaches started dispersing and going out and getting some opportunities out there. And so you think about here, it's like every time Jerry would get a coach, you could tell that coach wanted to be the head coach next. And it was like the head coach was on the team, even though he wasn't the head coach. And the head coach on the team, or the future head coach on the team, was fighting against the head coach on the team, not on the same page with the coach on the team. This has been a problem. And thankfully, and I'm going to give Matt Eberflus credit because y'all have heard me say this before. Matt Eberflus, Brian Schottenheimer stopped Matt Eberflus in his tracks. Brian Schottenheimer stopped Matt Eberflus in his tracks. He outworked him. Yeah, he outworked him. That's exactly what he did. Matt Eberflus seems like in some form or another, he was going to try to play this same old game. Ex-head coach, come to the Cowboys defense coordinator. He's going to work himself into a coaching position either with another team or if Brian Schottenheimer fails, he'll be the head coach. Brian Schottenheimer said, not on my watch. You terrible, bruh. You terrible. And I'm not going to let you sit up and be terrible without doing something about it. Brian Schottenheimer went in that defensive room and proved to the Joneses, Matt Eberflus is terrible. Schotty went and got his own coach. I believe he signed off on Matt Eberflus. But Christian Parker is Brian Schottenheimer's coach. Those are two different things. So now we got a defensive staff and we have a coaching staff, special teams and defense. They're not trying to go against the head coach. They're pulling for the head coach. And they want to win a championship for and with the head coach and with this team. That's the biggest difference. That's the biggest difference. And this is where Jerry had failed. This is where Jerry had failed for years. Well, this is why a lot of people now are saying that the Dallas Cowboys are going to be contenders. Why? It's simple. Unlike in years past, nobody is saying this because they're the Dallas Cowboys. They're saying this because they're looking at what the Dallas Cowboys are doing. It's that simple. Champ said, pump the brakes. Dak had a couple of good teams. No, he didn't. I don't agree with you. Your definition of team and my definition of team are two different things. Dak has not been on a couple of good teams. No. I will give the 2016 team, which wasn't Dak Prescott's team, was supposed to be Tony Romo's team. That was a good team. And it wasn't Dak Prescott's fault that that team did not progress in 2016. But the rest of those seasons, I'm not giving it to you. Dak didn't have good teams. Dak may have had some good players on those teams. Dak didn't have good teams. We are watching right now the 11th season in Dak Prescott's career. We could argue that this is literally the best team that Dak Prescott has been on. In his 11th season, we can make the argument right now, this is the best team that Dak Prescott has been on. Jason Garrett wasn't a great coach. What are we talking about? Jason Garrett wasn't a great coach. I think Jason Garrett was a maybe a good coach who benefited from some great players. Jason Garrett wasn't a good coach. Jason Garrett drove, when Dak Prescott drove that last drive against the Green Bay Packers, Jason Garrett fumbled under the pressure. I can remember like yesterday, the clock is running. Tick, 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 tick. Dak Prescott looks over at Jason Garrett and asks him, what should he do? Rather than calming down and just letting the time keep running off the clock, what did Jason Garrett tell Dak Prescott to do? Spike the ball. I think it was a spike, not a timeout. Spike the ball, stop the clock. And I can remember watching that game then saying, they left way too much time on the clock. Who else didn't say that? Who else didn't say that in that game? They left way too much time on the clock. I was furious when they stopped the clock. When they drove that ball down inside of the 3-yard line, I believe it was, I was like, hey, man, just let the time keep running. I thought the Cowboys would have had a better chance taking it into overtime. Take it into overtime, man. Nope. Jason Garrett panicked. Young coach, no experience, no championship experience in the grand scheme of things. Fumbled it. But again, I can tell you now, there's all you people who keep talking about pump the brakes, there will be no pumping the brakes. This hype train for the Dallas Cowboys, it's going downhill at this point. And it's not going downhill just because they're the Dallas Cowboys this time. It's going downhill as in a train going downhill and picking up speed because people are just saying, hey, man, they are doing a lot of things right. That's all they're saying. That's all they're saying. And so people, they get so in their feelings anytime you say anything positive about the Dallas Cowboys. Two things can be true. We got to see it on the field, but what we're seeing right now looks like it's going to produce results. We don't like that kind of conversation. And the thing that's funny to me, we don't like that conversation, but this is the conversation that we like. Oh, it's the same old thing, 30 years, 31 years. It's the same old thing. It's just going to be the same old thing. There's no way it's going to be better. I see 3-14. Oh, but we don't say, let's let us get on the field first when people talk like that. Isn't that strange? Isn't it strange when people talk, when people talk like that, nobody says, well, let's see it on the field first. No, nobody says that then. Everybody just joins in and says, oh, yeah, that's probably the truth right there. No, I'm just telling you, the only thing that people are saying, they like what the Cowboys are doing. It's the same. And let me ask y'all this question as we continue to talk about Dak Prescott. Why do y'all think everybody is on the Rams train right now? Because they got Myles Garrett. You know why they're on the hype train? Because they feel like the Rams have done something to win the Super Bowl. Doesn't mean the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. A lot of people say, yeah, but more than likely. Okay, we're going to see. Why can't we say the same thing about the Rams? Let's let it get on the field first. Have you noticed? You don't hear as many people saying that about the Rams. All I'm telling you is the hype train behind the Dallas Cowboys. It's not because they're the Dallas Cowboys. It's because they like what the Dallas Cowboys are doing. That's all they're saying. Dominique, you make a great point about Rod Marinelli. Bro, I was never a fan of Rod Marinelli. I never got the Rod Marinelli hype. Dominique said, put that on Rod Marinelli in that idiotic prevent defense he ran. How do you let the Packers convert on a 4th and 25?
True.
Man, I was never a fan of Rod Marinelli. Was never a fan of this man. Never. Never understood the Rod Marinelli hype. Never did. Bruce, what up? Bruce, not Wayne. He said Romo was robbed in Green Bay 2014. Dez caught the touchdown pass. Rodgers didn't beat him. Appreciate that super chat. And Bruce, even then, there was a lot of time left on the clock. Boy, there was a lot of time left on that clock, Bruce. I still wonder, had they punched that in with all the time that was left on the clock, the Cowboys defense couldn't stop. I remember that Rodgers had a strained calf in that game. Rodgers on a strained calf was giving us the business, bro. Does anybody remember that game in 2014? Rodgers on a strained calf was giving us the business. We had no answer for Rodgers in 2014. Other than outscoring him. We had no answer for him. Just, man, whew, boy. Some of these Cowboys losses have been heartbreaking, man. That's all. Boy, some of these Cowboys losses have been heartbreaking, man. I'm just telling you, boy. They've been heartbreaking. Dominique said you also look at the fact the Rams also beat the Seahawks in the NFC Championship game, and the general manager looked to see what can they do to get better. So they got McDuffie and Garrett. They did. But I'm going to give the Cowboys even a bigger move, Dominique. I'm going to look at another reason why. Let's look at it. Now, let's be honest. Why are people put on the hype train of the Dallas Cowboys? Because the Cowboys had a top 3 offense, bottom of the barrel defense. The Cowboys said, watch this, Dominique. How can we get better? Go out there and get one of the best young defensive minds in football from a, watch this, Super Bowl team. Let's go get, guess who? Christian Parker. Yeah. The Cowboys did the same thing. This is why people are on the Cowboys hype train. This is why they're on the hype train. The Cowboys, it's not just the players. The Cowboys went and got Christian Parker. And I think there are a lot of people who really thought, even before the Cowboys got Christian Parker, I think a lot of people thought Christian Parker was really good. I think a lot of people thought Christian Parker was really, really good. Not just Brian Schottenheimer. Also other people. And so when you think about it, the reason why people are on this hype train of the Dallas Cowboys, it's Christian Parker, it's the free agency, it's the draft, it's a culmination and a combination of things. And everybody keeps forgetting there is a secret weapon on this team. And a lot of teams love this guy. His name is BT Jordan. Yeah. BT Jordan's going to pay dividends for the Cowboys. Y'all watch what I tell you. They're going to be better. They are going to be better sacking quarterbacks. You watch what I tell you. They're going to be better sacking quarterbacks.
At the offense, I just think that there's going to be a floor that's really high, and then the defense that can get to average. It's NFC contention. It's not Rams level, but it's close there.
So I love everything about this offensive system that we.
Now, notice what this guy said. This is why people are on the hype train. The offense was top 3. And we looked at it. I'm talking about just watching the games. How do you be a top 3 offense and all of us are kind of thinking the same thing? And it can still be better. This is why people are on that hype train. Because if that offense takes that step, even if it just stays the same, I don't believe it will. Based on Brian Schottenheimer's track record. That defense, even if that offense even takes half a step, and if Christian Parker can just get the Cowboys to 20, they're contending. If he can get that defense to 20, they're contending. We keep talking about the Cowboys, we keep talking about the Cowboys defense. Well, we really got to ask ourselves, I'm not sure there's a lot of teams' defenses that are going to be able to handle the Cowboys' offense this year. The second year under Brian Schottenheimer should be that much better. And I'm going to show you this again. Brian Schottenheimer's second year with Russell Wilson, it took off. When he got DK Metcalf, it took off. I got a feeling he's going to do something similar. Cowboys offense is going to look even better.
Seen last year, and it starts with Brian Schottenheimer as the head coach and also the play caller. The offense wasn't stagnant a year ago. A lot more motions, different things that they did, but they ran the football effectively. Why were they able to run the football so effectively and be top 10 in the National Football League when you have a 1A and a 1B out the wide receiver position, when you have CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens? It allows you, if you're Dak Prescott, to be able to go against too high, run the football. Now when teams want to play man-to-man, then I'm going to be lethal. And then Jake Ferguson at the tight end position being an addition to that receiver core in the passing game in Dallas. Here's the thing for Dallas, in my opinion. I expect Dak Prescott to be in the MVP conversation with an opportunity to win it because they're so lethal offensively. Second in total offense, second in pass offense, 9th in run offense, and then 7th in points per game with 27.7 a season ago. a second year in that system now. Everyone is acclimated. I only expect it to get better. And that offensive line being able to gel even more with a full offseason, everyone being healthy, I expect the offense to be top-notch. Where the MVP comes in as well, is Dallas a major player in the party when it comes to the NFC and being a contender?
Hello.
Y'all know how I am with
Yes.
the Dallas Cowboys. I am not one of these analysts that come on TV every single year. Oh, the Dallas Cowboys are Super Bowl contenders. But ladies and gentlemen, listen to me closely. I have the Dallas Cowboys for 2026 being Super Bowl contenders. When I look at—
Say it again. Say it again. Did you hear what this guy just said? Listen to what he said. I'm not one of those guys. I agree. He said, I'm not one of those guys. What did I just tell y'all? It's this simple. The reason why people are on the hype train of the Dallas Cowboys is not because they're the Dallas Cowboys anymore. They're looking at the moves the Dallas Cowboys are making. That's all they're doing. And what have I told y'all over and over and over about what faith is? Faith is the evidence of what? Things not seen. The evidence of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So, even though we haven't won the Super Bowl yet, why would we have hope this year that we can win the Super Bowl? You gotta count the evidence. Brian Schottenheimer, the culture, check. Changed out the defensive coordinator, Christian Parker, check. BT Jordan, check. Marcus Dixon and others, check. Clayton Adams and others from last year, check. Look at what you did in free agency this year. Jalen Thompson, you went and got Quentin Williams last year. You went and got Kenny Clark last year. You went and got Caleb Williams in the draft. Malachi Lawrence, LT Overton, Jayshon Barham. I mean, you just keep counting the ways of everything that we are looking at the Cowboys have done right. The evidence is why the hype train is going faster and faster for the Cowboys. That's why. There's no other reason. There's no other reason. Why would people be out here saying what this guy's saying? When we know JCT Slice been saying everybody hates the Cowboys. Well, I don't know if people are hating the Cowboys this year. Because a lot of people, the reason why they're on the Dallas Cowboys hype train and the reason why now they're on the Dak Prescott MVP train is because they're saying Dak Prescott last year had an MVP season, but the team had a losing season. If this team has a winning season, then they're saying Dak Prescott is in the MVP conversation because he's going to be driving the bus. That's all they're saying. I'm just trying to break this down Google Gaga because people get so in their feelings. You know, if you say the Cowboys aren't going to be that good, everybody says, oh, yeah, I can agree. But then if you say the Cowboys are going to be good based on what they're doing, oh, we got to see it on the field. Well, why don't we have to see it on the field when you say the Cowboys are not going to do good? Why do we not have that same type of reasoning? But we don't. Bruce, not Wayne, he said 2004 Romo fumble. Oh, yes. My wife brought that up the other day. Yep, slick football fumble, football tackled at the 1. And Bruce, you know they changed the rules after that? Now they have field goal footballs, and then they have game footballs. I wonder why they did that, Tony Romo. Tony Romo in that slick football. Tony Romo in that slick football. But I'm telling you, all they're saying is, they're just saying, hey, man, the Cowboys are doing some things right. That's all they're saying. Frank Lawrence, what Super Bowl drought? He said the Dallas Cowboys have 5 Lombardi trophies, second most. There are 12 teams. There are 12 teams droughted their entire existence. Oh, that's a great point. But I'll tell you this, Frank Lawrence, the young folks, man, who haven't seen, like Bass, who hadn't seen the Cowboys win Super Bowls, for them, it's like the Cowboys have never won a Super Bowl because they haven't seen it in their lifetime. So the young folks are saying we got to see one now. Yeah, JP the Goog, Jerry finally started focusing on fixing things at home inside Jerry World, then worried about everything outside of Jerry World. Yeah, JP the Goog, you've heard me make this point. Jerry's been too busy building the NFL. Okay, Jerry, you've done enough. Now it's time to start building the Cowboys again. You've done enough. What's going on, Jank fan? He said with only 1 year off film, defense coordinator is still going to be a step behind our offense due to refinement and self-scouting and new looks. I agree. Caitlin, we'll see if we can look at that here in a moment. Who are the top teams? What up, Blakey? Yeah. Larry Hunter said the team comprised of competitive members all working together as one body for a Super Bowl run. Yeah, we haven't had that. I'm serious. We haven't had that since Jimmy. We just haven't had it. It's like it's always been working against itself. But it seems like for a change, it's working together. Andre London said it really feels better that Jerry is doing his GM job and staying out of the media. Amen. Amen. Amen 100 times, man. Just let these guys do what they do. Chef Pope said, I told my coworker we moving different. He said, yeah, right. I told him, get your popcorn ready. Yeah. And again, all they're doing, again, just think about what people are doing. That's why we don't have to be so hard on people who are excited about what the Cowboys are doing. At the end of the day, all they're saying is they like what the Cowboys are doing. That's all they're saying. They're saying the evidence is in place that the Cowboys are on their way to a Super Bowl. I've been telling you since they hired Brian Schottenheimer, 2026 and 2027. No later than 2027. The evidence is there.
The NFC East, I believe the Giants could win it, the Commanders could win it, the Dallas Cowboys could win it, and the Commanders could win it. Any one of those teams could win the NFC East, in my opinion. Excuse me, the Eagles. But for Dak Prescott, you better cash in right now while you have this opportunity, because I do not believe George Pickens is going to be on this football team in 2027.
Ooh, I do.
And the reason why I say that, Dallas, if they wanted to pay George Pickens, I feel like they would have paid him. You look at
Hang on now.
No, just listen to me for a second. You look at the last four guys that they franchised. They want their players to play on the franchise tag. Tony Pollard, Dalton Schultz, DeMarcus Lawrence, Dak Prescott. Now, of all those players that I mentioned, who is the only one that is still currently right now with the Dallas Cowboys? And that's the quarterback position. So
Yeah, but that's probably that's not as accurate, simply because DeMarcus Lawrence actually stayed here for a while.
Going to pay your franchise guy at some point, and that's exactly what they were able to do. But I look forward to the Dallas Cowboys being better defensively as well with Christian Parker coming over.
They better be.
Look, you got Quidden Williams, you got Kenny Clark, you have Marvion Overshown, who's coming back and is going to be healthy. And I love the addition of Caleb Downs. So the Dallas Cowboys, I have them right in the thick of everything in the NFC. I still have the Rams right here, but the Dallas Cowboys aren't far away, in my opinion, because I believe they can get it done in 2026.
Back to
Wow. Now again, all I'm telling you is, when you listen to what he's saying, he's giving the evidence. He's giving the evidence of a thing not seen. All he's simply doing is saying, based on what the Cowboys are doing, that's all he's saying. Based on what the Cowboys are doing. Whenever you do good, this is the part that people sometimes don't get. Let's break this down further. Whenever you do good, what do you think the expectations are? When you do good, the expectations are success. That's the expectations. It's the bottom line. Yeah, that's the bottom line. When you do good, people expect you to do good. When you do good, people expect you to achieve your goals. This is all these people are saying. And it's always the people in Cowboys Nation are the most skeptical people. They seem to refuse to acknowledge The Cowboys are doing great things. They're just refusing to acknowledge it. Oh, I got to see it on the field. Well, everybody got to see it on the field. It doesn't mean you can't acknowledge what you're seeing, though. Doesn't mean you can't acknowledge it. But some people won't even acknowledge it, and it doesn't really make logical sense. If I see somebody doing something right, yeah, I'm still gonna be excited for what they're doing right. And then I want to see it. Okay, then I also want to see it in action. Two things can be true. And this is the reason why everybody is so excited, because they're like, wow, the Cowboys are really doing some things.
Back seasons where they have 7 wins and they have losing seasons. They were at the bottom of the barrel in every statistical category in terms of defense. I know it got better as the year went on. Okay, I didn't fall
That's
asleep.
the thing, though, Shay.
But you're saying Super Bowl contenders?
I believe they're contenders.
I just feel like we haven't
If they're
seen
an average football team defensively.
Yep.
average. Sure.
If they're average and not at the bottom of the barrel, if they're not dog poop on defense, we see a way better Dallas Cowboys team than we've seen a season ago.
Sure. Go ahead.
Here's the case. Here's the case for Super Bowl contenders. Again, not at the Rams level, we both agree.
Jabril Quinn, you just made the statement of the day. There it is. Jabril Quinn.
You can't handle the truth.
That is the statement of the day. Cowboys fans are scared to believe. Yes. Yes. I agree with you 1,000%. They are scared to believe. Now, here's the crazy part, Quinn. What does it hurt you to believe based on what you're seeing? Because it's actually not logical to not believe when you're seeing something that's going against how you feel. They're making a lot of great moves. Do we have to see it on the field? Yes. But why think in the reverse order? We like what they're doing off the field. Shouldn't it translate on the field, barring injuries or something cataclysmic? It should. We're gonna see it. We're gonna see it on the field. We don't have to wait. We're gonna see it on the field, regardless if we want to wait or not. I mean, we're gonna see it on the field. The question will be, if it doesn't work on the field, it won't be because they didn't do things right. It will be, okay, what didn't go right? What happened? That'll be the conversation. It's okay to have that conversation. Sometimes things don't go right, even when you do so many things right. Sometimes things don't go right, especially in a competitive sport or anything competitive. Because sometimes no matter how much good you do, maybe the ball didn't bounce your way. Or maybe you just ran up against somebody who was better. And that's just the facts, Jack. It is like that sometimes. Yeah, Eric Folks said they don't want to be disappointed. I get it. I get it. But when I watch them, what I'm seeing with the Cowboys and how they're moving, hey, man, the expectations is success. This guy's about to give another case. I hadn't heard this, but this is what he just said. He's about to give another case.
I agree with that.
But they were 2 yards off of being the best offense in all of football last year. And then on defense, once he was traded to Dallas, Quinn
Didn't know that. He said the Cowboys were 2 yards off of being the best offense in football last year. Okay, something I didn't know again. Pretty interesting.
Williams had the best pressure rate of any defensive tackle in football. The issue was the edge rushers. By the way, you traded Micah Parsons, but off the edge, they had the worst pressure rate in the entire league. That gets better this year, and you add Caleb Downs, who I think is one of the best athletes we've seen and can play 8 different places. Caleb Downs went edge rusher last year for Ohio State. Like, he was doing everything.
You have a guy that can play the line of scrimmage, guard the slot, play in the middle of the football field, play at linebacker depth, be instinctive. You draft those kind of players, and that's exactly why the Dallas Cowboys drafted Caleb Downs, in my opinion.
The biggest issue, when they didn't generate pressure last year, they allowed a 76% completion rate. against opposing quarterbacks with no pressure. That's little league stuff. Okay, you can't allow that high of a completion percentage when you don't get pressure. So you get more pressure, you have a tighter coverage. I think there's a case here. Again, Harry keeps saying it. If the Cowboys defense gets to average, good things will happen. They will likely win this division because of how high the floor is on offense.
Okay. Are the Ravens considered favorites? Let's keep that word in mind.
Hey, man, what else can you say? I love it. I love the discussion they had. And the only thing they did, Cowboys fans, all they did was give you the evidence of why they think the way they think. It's the same thing I've been doing. The only thing I keep doing is giving us the evidence of why I think how I'm thinking. The Cowboys are going to be better this year. I believe their defense is going to be better this year because Christian Parker, even as a rookie coach, I believe he's better than Matt Eberflus. I think he's better than Matt Eberflus. I absolutely believe he's better than Matt Eberflus. And I believe he's going to have more success than Matt Eberflus. And one of the reasons why I believe he's going to have more success than Matt Eberflus, he has better players and he has a better system. He has better players, a better system, and I believe this team believes in Christian Parker more. The team believes in Christian Parker more. Some people don't believe that it's important of how you feel about certain things. Like that doesn't play into how people play this game. It does. All of these things matter. This team is a lot more confident in the ownership, the coaching staff, and one another. I think it's going to translate onto the field. And Queen, let me tell you why, and the rest of Cowboys Nation, let me tell you why I believe that Dak Prescott is going to win or is going to be a serious MVP contender. When we think about the last two MVPs, the last two that I can think of, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Lamar Jackson, when we look at Lamar Jackson's MVP year, Queen, you ready for this? When we look at Lamar Jackson's MVP season, it actually wasn't his best season. Lamar Jackson in his MVP season was not better than Dak Prescott. He was not better than Dak Prescott. But because he beat Dak Prescott, I think it was a week, either he beat Dak Prescott or it was the week that Dak Prescott lost to the Miami Dolphins. And it was that, Dak lost to Miami because of Schoonmaker. And really just, the Cowboys just should have played better against the Miami Dolphins. Lamar Jackson won that week. And they said that Lamar Jackson was going to run away with it after that. Lamar Jackson won the MVP in a year where Dak Prescott had a better year. But then, skip to the next season. What was that? 2024. Lamar Jackson had a better year than he had in 2023 when he beat out Dak Prescott. He had a better season in 2024. Video game numbers. And they gave the MVP to Josh Allen. Do what? Josh Allen didn't even have a better season than Lamar Jackson. And they gave it to Josh Allen. Why would they do that? Now, these people say, the MVP has nothing to do with the playoffs. Well, give the MVP before the playoffs start then. Give the MVP before the playoffs start. Give the trophy away before the playoffs start. Josh Allen got AFC Championship game? Winds up winning the MVP in a season where there was a player that performed better than him. And Dak Prescott, watch what I tell you. Dak Prescott won't even have to be the top quarterback in the league statistically. The only thing the Cowboys will have to do is get to the playoffs. And Dak Prescott puts up his regular numbers. Dak Prescott will win the MVP. Watch what I tell you. Dak Prescott doesn't have to have the most passing yards, the most touchdowns, the most completions. Dak isn't going to have any of that. If the Cowboys have a winning season, double-digit wins, 10 wins, book it. 10 wins. Dak Prescott wins the MVP. Watch what I tell you. They're going to make up for it, because these guys do stuff like this. They're going to make up for the stolen MVP that Dak Prescott should have got in 2023. They're going to make up for it, and he's going to earn it because he's already earned it. But they will vote Dak Prescott the MVP in 2025 if the Dallas Cowboys make the playoffs, because they're going to consider all of this into the equation. Coming off a cataclysmic injury, coming off 2 losing seasons, then having a winning season, and having the numbers that Dak Prescott's going to put up. Dak Prescott in totality, based on all of those things, watch what I tell you. Dak Prescott wins the MVP. There's no doubt in my mind. And he won't have to put up Brandon Cup, and I think it'll be great, but I don't think Dak's going to do this. I don't think Dak's going to put up 5,550 TDs. And we can book it. I don't think he's going to have to do that to win it. I don't think he's going to have to do that to win it. Big Mouse Dog, he said, the voters are going to move the goalposts. But I'm going to tell you this, Big Mouse Dog. Watch this. But have you noticed something? There are a lot of people out there all of a sudden starting to sing the praises of one Rain Dakota Prescott. And Big Mouse Dog, this will be a reason why it will sway the voters. Because in 2023, call me crazy, I've been called worse, I believe they were afraid to vote for Dak Prescott. The voters, it was like they were being controlled by the media. They were listening to the media's opinion of who they thought should win the MVP. They were afraid to vote for Dak Prescott. There is no way that Dak Prescott only gets one vote in the season that Dak Prescott had. There's no way. They were afraid to vote for Dak Prescott the same way some of the Cowboys fans are afraid to buy into what the Dallas Cowboys are doing. Dominique, he said, what I want to see this year is them play together as a team. The days of being we only go as far as Dak takes us should be over and done with starting this season. Amen. And I think Schotty was trying to get rid of that whole notion the moment he came in here. Schotty doesn't want this to be all on the shoulders of Dak Prescott. Schotty wants a team to win the Super Bowl, because that's really what wins Super Bowls. It's exactly what wins Super Bowls. Yep, DJ Creations, they were biased rather than using their own intelligence. Yes. 817, you dig? He said a lot of Dak's performances have been in spite of the defense. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm telling you, dig. People are going to be surprised. Dak Prescott will win the MVP if he wins it. Watch what I tell you. You're going to look back over Dak's career and you're going to go, well, Dak had a better season than that before. And he's going to win it. I'm telling you. Josh Allen did not have a better season than Lamar Jackson last year. Lamar Jackson put up video game numbers, or year before last. Man, Lamar Jackson put up video game numbers. If there was any year they could have justified in a unanimous MVP, it was 2024. And Josh Allen won it. Travesty. Travesty, man. travesty. Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. You don't think he has to do it, but you're saying he could. Oh, I think he could, too. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Demetrius Noel, he said, yeah, I don't believe Dak is interested in winning the MVP. I agree with you on that, too. Yeah. And you know what, Demetrius? This is the very reason why he'll win it. It's the very reason why he'll win it. Yeah, he's been robbed twice. His focus is winning the Super Bowl, and it should absolutely be that. And I agree with you. Yeah. All right, let me move a little bit. Let's move on to a quick hit here. I want to show you something that Jeremy Fowler revealed to the Bleacher Report about George Pickens.
Yes! Here we go!
Thought this was very interesting. Because a lot of people, man, I'm telling y'all, a lot of people, you know, they're kind of shocked that the Cowboys didn't come out and give George Pickens an extension yesterday. I think a lot of people were surprised. I really, because I was holding out hope. Now, this is what I mean by hoping against hope. If hope and faith are the evidence of things not seen, I really didn't see anything from the Cowboys that indicated to me they were going to give George Pickens an extension. That's why I said I was actually hoping against hope. George Pickens showed why he deserves, at least in my estimation, an extension. The Cowboys showed me nothing that was going to that they were actually going to extend George Pickens. But I also believe the Cowboys have no intentions, contrary to what people are thinking. People keep saying this is the last season for George Pickens. I don't believe it. There is no way the Cowboys go to there's no way the Cowboys even go to the conference game. There's no way the Cowboys win one playoff game. And then Jerry Jones says, okay, we've seen enough of George Pickens. We're going to trade George Pickens. If there is anything that I believe about George Pickens, y'all tell me what y'all think. Based on the actions of George Pickens, if there is anything George Pickens has shown me, is that he may be willing to give the Cowboys a discount to stay here. If there is anything he has shown me, he might take $32 million a year to play here. Absolutely. That's going to be the franchise tag next year anyway. $32 million. It would not surprise me if he took $32 million to play for the Cowboys. Think about this. George Pickens, let's just say for the sake of argument, George Pickens next year, let's say the Cowboys extend George Pickens. And George Pickens says, I'm going to take $32 million a year to stay with the Cowboys, and I'll take $70 million fully guaranteed. You know what? Just for the sake of argument, let's just say instead George Pickens says, I'll take $60 million fully guaranteed with the Dallas Cowboys. I'll sign, let's see, fully guaranteed, I'll take 60. 80 million total guaranteed, which means that's not fully. I'll take 60 million guaranteed, 80 million total guaranteed. So let me say it right. 60 million full, 80 million total. Do y'all know that George Pickens would be the highest paid wide receiver in the game? He would be in the top 3 paid wide receivers in the game. Why? Let's add this part on. Because George Pickens would have already gotten $27 million fully guaranteed this season. If you turn around and you give George Pickens a 3-year deal next year, $60 million fully guaranteed. Let's look at this. $60 million fully guaranteed. Do we not realize that's actually $87 million fully guaranteed? Yeah. That's $87 million. This is how Dak Prescott won this whole issue with the Cowboys. People don't realize the reason why Dak Prescott made so much money, it's not because of the deals that he signed only. It was the franchise tags. They were astronomical. Just by George doing it this year, one franchise tag, $27 million. And then he comes next year. And even if he was to get the CD Lamb deal, $67 million. $67 million. $100 million total guaranteed. Well, the number you need to be looking at is the fully guaranteed. You add $27 million to the fully guaranteed money, even if he got the CD Lamb deal. Do we realize that George Pickens would have actually racked up $94 million guaranteed dollars because of this season? I'm trying to tell us, man. George is going to break the bank. George Pickens doesn't actually have to say to the Cowboys, nah, man, I want a $42 million average per year. I want 40 million Jamar Chase dollars. I want 35. Let me tell you something. If George Pickens even does a franchise tag one more time next season, George Pickens already surpasses Drake London for the Atlanta Falcons. If George Pickens just does a franchise tag, that's $60 million fully guaranteed versus $52 million fully guaranteed. And these total guarantees, I guarantee you with this Falcon player, has a fifth-year option and this year and a fifth-year option in it. George Pickens is going to break the bank. Everything that George Pickens has shown, and when you look at the fact he's going to make $27 million this year, I believe George Pickens would be willing to give the Cowboys a discount. I do. I absolutely do. Where is he going? See, these are the discussions that people don't have. Where is he going? If George Pickens doesn't stay with the Dallas Cowboys, can somebody tell me where is he going to get $42 million? Where is he going? Where? Who's going to pay him $40 million? Where is he going? I could maybe see the 49ers. I could see them going for him. I could see the Raiders going for him. But guess why you don't want to go to the 49ers? It's California. It's the millionaire tax. You got to consider not just the dollar amounts. You got to consider the area that you're going to. You got to consider the taxes, the state taxes, the cost of living. You got to consider those things. I contend Dallas is the best place for George Pickens. Even money-wise. Money-wise, career-wise, you name it. George stays in Dallas. Here comes the endorsement deals. He stays in Dallas. Here comes the endorsement deals. Book it. I don't believe George is going anywhere. I don't believe he's going anywhere. A lot of people keep saying, oh, this is George's last year with the Cowboys. I don't think it is. I don't think he's going anywhere. I believe George Pickens is here to stay, at least for the next 4 years. I don't think he's going anywhere. Nope. Don't believe he's going anywhere. Larry Hunter said George Pickens will be a cash cow next year. Yeah. And I think he's going to be with the Dallas. I think he's going to be with the Cowboys. All this stuff, let me show y'all something, man. Please, we got to stop falling for this stuff right here. We got to stop falling for this. This is propaganda. All this average per year stuff, it's bull junk. Don't let anybody fool you. This is bull junk. It absolutely is. The number you need to be concerned with if you are signing one of these contracts is the fully guaranteed number. Because in most cases, players never see the total guaranteed. They never see the total guaranteed. They don't. That's why it's called fully guaranteed. Because these teams can get to a point and they can cut you and they do everything they can to make you only get the fully guaranteed money. They don't want you to get them total guarantees. Shoot. They don't want you to get that money. Nah, that's quarterback money. I mean, a lot of people don't see that fully guaranteed. They don't see that total guaranteed money. Man, these teams will cut you a year before the contract is up to save $20 or $30 million. They'll trade your butt to save $30 or $40 million. These teams ain't trying to give up no money. They're not in the business to give up money. They're in the business to make money. Yeah. Just bull, I'm telling you. Demetrius Noel said, gee, Dak makes $85 to $100 million a year. Dak would have been over $60 million regardless. It just shows you how stupid people are, how it brings up $60 million per year contract. Yeah, I mean, the Cowboys, it was the Cowboys. When the Cowboys gave him them doggone franchise tags, bro. That's what threw Dak over the top, bro. Bass said, bull jive. Yep. I tell you. What up, Michael Lee? See, people don't realize, man, this $27 million, you got to count that into the pot. And so next year, man, if the Cowboys were to even give George Pickens CeeDee Lamb deal, he would just barely be shy of $6 million of the total guarantees that CeeDee Lamb is set to get. And will CeeDee Lamb get that total guarantee? We're going to see. Time will tell. I think he's got a couple more years on the current deal. We'll see. But I'm telling you, I think George is going to stay here. I think George Pickens is here to stay. What's up, Rico Love? I think George Pickens is here to stay. I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think he's going anywhere. I really don't. So Jeremy Fowler, over here, the Bleacher Report is reporting this. The Bleacher Report, Fowler said some other things about George Pickens. This was written by Adam Wells, July the 15th. And maybe I overlooked this in the article. I didn't see this in the article. Maybe I overlooked it. Adam Wells writes over here, says, even though CeeDee Lamb is the highest paid wide receiver on the Dallas Cowboys, at least one coordinator in the NFL believes George Pickens is the true number one receiver for that offense. This is another reason why I don't think George is going anywhere. I just don't think he's going anywhere. There are quite a few people that think like this. And again, I don't think it's anything for us to get mad about. People get mad when you start having this conversation. Again, I'm just glad we can have the conversation. And also, as I said yesterday, right now, not talking about total body of work. We're also not talking about we don't want CeeDee Lamb anymore. We're not talking about trading CeeDee Lamb or we don't want them both on the same team. We're not saying any of those things. Man, people get so mad about this. I'm just glad we can have the conversation. But let me put it to us like this. Let me give it to us another way. Because people get so mad about this. Before we get mad about it, let's just think about what they're really saying. All they're saying is how good Pickens is. That's all they're saying. It's actually not a knock on CeeDee Lamb. They're just telling you how good CeeDee Lamb is. It's not really something to get mad about. It's actually something we should be excited about. George Pickens should actually want to be better than CeeDee Lamb. And CeeDee Lamb, if you ask him the same question, he would probably shock you and tell you, George Pickens is better than me. CeeDee Lamb himself has already said he wants George Pickens to be better than him. Why wouldn't he? If I was on this Dallas Cowboy team and you brought on Bass, you bring Bass onto the team. I'm the number one wide receiver. You bring on Bass. Bass is as good as me, and people are saying that Bass is better than me. Do you really think I'm mad? No, I'm not mad. It's called competition. I'm going to play that much better because I got Bass on the other side. Because people are saying that Bass is better than me. New, young, hot shot receiver. Guess what? I'm better than Bass. That's what I'm proving. Not in a bad way. Iron sharpens iron. If Bass catch a touchdown, I'm going to make it my business to catch a touchdown. If Bass runs for 30, I want to run for 40. This is how they both should be thinking. Neither one of them should be walking around on eggshells, being mad or being uptight because somebody talking about, hey, man, they said you better than me. They said I'm better than you. I don't care what they say. Whatever you do, I'm going to do. Whatever you do, I expect to do. If you get 150, I want 160. I'm sorry. That's how you should be. This is exactly what we should have wanted on this team. There is no way we should have wanted a wide receiver that comes on this team saying, yeah, man, CeeDee Lamb is the number one wide receiver. What? I wish I would come onto a team saying you're the number one wide receiver when I got George Pickens' ability. I wish I would. In my mind, I'm the number one receiver. CeeDee Lamb is the number one receiver too. But I'm a number one receiver. Bar none. And I expect greatness. Both of them should be wanting the ball. Both of them. I want two wide receivers like that. I want a wide receiver. I don't understand why people are mad about this. I want a wide receiver where people are arguing which one of them is better. What? That's better for us. That's better for us. That's better for us. Because I'm going to tell you this. If I'm on this team and I'm CeeDee Lamb and I'm on this team and I'm George Pickens, let me tell you what I do know. We both gonna eat. Boy, we gonna eat on teams. We are going to eat on teams. I promise you. I'm not even mad about this conversation because it's not, we think it's putting down CeeDee Lamb. It's not what they're doing. They're just trying to tell people how good George Pickens is. That's all they're doing. That's all people are doing. And they're fitting into the equation. I guarantee you they're figuring into the equation. Lamb hasn't been healthy the last 2 seasons. They're figuring this in. I hadn't even read this article, but I guarantee you these are the types of things they are figuring in. They're also probably figuring in George Pickens is younger. They're figuring in all kinds of things. But understand this. By no means should we take this as them putting CeeDee Lamb down. No, they're just telling you how good George Pickens is. And how blessed the Dallas Cowboys are to have another wide receiver that, as I said yesterday, that we can actually have a conversation that has the potential to be better than CeeDee Lamb. George Pickens has the potential to be better than Lamb. What? Oh, I want that. I want that on my team. Yeah. I want that on my team. And these two wide receivers, I'm telling you right now, there's no ill will. They don't care about these conversations. CeeDee Lamb has said some of the same things that I'm saying. When George gets a touchdown, he expects to get 1 too, and it's vice versa. If he gets 100 yards, George expects 100 yards. Vice versa. Dak's already said they both want the ball. He loves that problem, and we ought to love that problem too. And, you know, these discussions, they should not become hostile. All they are friendly conversations. It's no big deal. I'm just glad we got both of them. BOFFEM. We got both of them. We got 2 top 5 receivers. I'm telling you, I am elated about this. I am elated. But it says, the coordinator told Jeremy Fowler that Pickens emerged as the primary target in Dallas's offense during his first season with the club. It's Pickens, the coordinator said. He has emerged. Lamb did miss 3 games due to injuries in 2025. That impacted his numbers and performance. But Pickens was superior to him, even on a per-game basis. Pickens led the Cowboys with 93 receptions, 1,429 yards, 9 touchdowns. His 15.4 yards per reception was the best on the team among all players with 5 or more targets. Let me tell you something. Could y'all imagine how many yards George Pickens would have had the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings not came in with a plan? George Pickens would have eclipsed probably 1,700 yards and double-digit touchdowns, probably 11 to 12 touchdowns, if Minnesota and Detroit hadn't came up with a plan. And it was a great plan, underneath and over the top, and pressure on Dak Prescott, according to the Minnesota Vikings. George Pickens could have ate even more. I love this issue that we have. I love this issue. And it's actually not an issue. It's actually not even a problem. This is what and I don't understand. Isn't this actually what we wanted? It's almost like we wanted a number 2 wide receiver that was not as good as CeeDee Lamb. Nah, bruh, not me. I'm glad we got somebody that people are saying is better than CeeDee Lamb. Yeah, I like it. I don't know about y'all, but I love it. You actually wish you could do this in every position. Do y'all realize that you wish you could do this in every position? You actually wish you could have 2 number 1 tight ends. You actually wish you could have 2 number 1 running backs. You actually wish that the backup left tackle was as good as the starting left tackle. You can go down every position offensively and defensively. You actually wished that you had this same issue in every position and that you could afford every one of those players. Yeah, that's what you wish. Why wouldn't you want this? Why wouldn't you want this? I don't understand it. I'm elated they're talking about George Pickens like this. I'm elated. All they're telling us is how good he is. That's all they're telling us. The per-game stats for Pickens were 5.5 catches and 84.1 yards. Lamb, by comparison, averaged 5.4 receptions and 76.9 yards per game. Pickens' success rate was 65%, compared to 51% for Lamb. The Cowboys acquired Pickens from the Pittsburgh Steelers last offseason in a deal that only cost them a 3rd-round pick. It's amazing to me now that people are saying it only cost them a 3rd-round pick. They weren't talking like that before. Yeah, it's amazing to me. They weren't talking like that before. Yeah, now it's only a 3rd-round pick. It turned out to be a shrewd move by Jerry Jones, with Pickens elevating an already strong offense to another level. His future in Dallas is a storyline that is still being monitored. Pickens took some drama out of the equation by signing the 1-year franchise tender for a guaranteed $27.3 million in 2026. There is no expectation a long-term deal will be worked out, nor is he likely to be traded. Yeah, If Pickens has another strong season in Dallas, it will significantly increase his value as he looks to secure a long-term deal next season, and he will get it. Quinn, you saying it, Quinn? Wouldn't everybody love to have 2 number 1 quarterbacks? Everybody would love to have 2 number 1 quarterbacks. Even though some people say if you got 2 number 1 quarterbacks, you don't have a quarterback. But Jabril, I know what you're saying. What if we had 2 number 1 quarterbacks? That way, if you have a quarterback that goes down, you got a quarterback that steps right in, still wins. Yeah. Everybody wish they could do this. Sure, everybody wish they could do this, man. But again, man, we don't have to get all mad about this. I think the real issue is what they're just saying about George Pickens is that George Pickens is incredible. And that the Dallas Cowboys have 2 incredible wide receivers. And I think we're on the verge of having 3. Ryan Flanoy has the potential to be one of the best number 2 receivers in this game. He can at least be top 5, top 7, number 2 wide receivers. So we're just increasing in strength. Increasing, and I love it. Snap debates. He said, I have no doubt about our offense in every position, but we will see if the defense gets the job done. That's what we all going to see. Yeah, that's what we're waiting on. That's what we're waiting on. Yeah. Ron, what up, V-Ron? He said, okay, fantastic. I'm all in with the excitement of the receiving corps, but let's go on with this season and go deep in the playoffs. There I mentioned Super Bowl. Yeah, this is what that hype train is. Everybody's riding that train right now, man. Yeah. Bad City, you'd have to have the franchise quarterback and the replacement rookie top first-round pick. Now, that'd be tough. Yeah. And you think about it. Hey, the San Francisco 49ers had this problem at one time. Joe Montana and Steve Young, anybody? San Francisco 49ers were loaded like that one time, man. They had 2 number 1 quarterbacks, Jabril. Yep. Hey, there will be blood. Me and you, same time. You remember Joe Montana and Steve Young? Boy, San Francisco had that same problem one time, man. Yeah, that same problem. I'm telling you now, it's a good problem to have, too. It's a good problem. It's a good problem to have, and I love this problem the Cowboys had because it's better than the problem we had before. I'd rather be entertaining arguments of who's better between CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens than just having CeeDee Lamb and the next best wide receiver you have is named Brandon Cooks. Shoot. Boy, I remember that nightmare. Shoot. I remember that nightmare. That was an absolute nightmare for Cowboys Nation. Boy, that was a nightmare, boy, especially when we saw them Green Bay Packers in the playoffs. But again, I'm expecting a huge year. I am expecting an absolutely huge year from CeeDee Lamb. I believe CeeDee Lamb is hearing some of these conversations. I believe CeeDee Lamb is frustrated that he was injured the last couple of seasons. I believe CeeDee Lamb is going to be on a mission this year, and I love it. I love it. Lamb will be on a mission this year. Lamb ain't going to be on a mission to prove he's better than George Pickens. But I'm going to tell you what he is going to be on a mission on. He's going to be on a mission to tell people.
Put some respect on my name.
Yeah.
You understand me? When y'all say my name, put some respect.
He going to tell him put some respect on his name. Shoot. Lamb said, hold on now. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I've been doing this. Shoot. Lamb going to tell him. Man, D-Cuz Worley, do you remember that nightmare, bro? Worley, do you remember that nightmare? Brandon Cooks was the second wide receiver, bro. Man, that was a nightmare. I'm not hating on Brandon Cooks, but he can't be your number 2, man. Can't be your number 2. Freddie Morales, he said, gee, I have a friend who was like my little brother. We both were very fast in our wheelchairs in high school. We ran a race to see who was faster, and to this day we tease each other as to who won. Yes, sir. Man, Freddie, I don't think people understand. When you have somebody on your team that is as good as you, it's fun. Man, it's fun. I'm telling you. When you have somebody on your team that is as good as you, and both of y'all have solidified y'all's positions, so y'all not actually fighting against each other. Y'all are actually on the field at the same time. Man, it's exciting, man. It's exciting. You ever been on a team with somebody who is good as you, and when they score, you be so happy for them, you be like, boy, I see what you did there, boy. You did this. Man, just wait until I get my opportunity. I'm gonna do this and do it. Man, it is fun, man, when you have people like that on your team. It's fun, man. It is. Jerome Miller said the cap makes the league more competitive instead of the richest teams monopolizing all of the best players. Yep, because the Cowboys and the 49ers were about to do that in the 90s. Thomas said Lamb was a dog and consistent, and GP only had one good season. Now, hold on, Thomas. GP has had a bunch of good seasons. He just had terrible quarterback play. Go back. We've already looked at it. Go back and look at the numbers, Thomas. When you look at the numbers that George Pickens was putting up with Mason Rudolph, man, when you go back, when you look at the numbers he was putting up with Mitchell Trubisky, man, this dude George Pickens been here, man. Man, when you look at the numbers this man was putting up with Russell Wilson way out of his prime, Justin Fields way out of his prime, man, when you look at the numbers GP was putting up, boy, this dude was killing it, bro. Yeah, I get what you're saying with the Cowboys, yeah. But man, this dude GP been putting up them numbers, Thomas. He been putting up some serious numbers. But I don't think it was the numbers, Thomas, with the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys, what they were concerned with George Pickens, it's not the numbers. I think they were more concerned with the attitude. And so George Pickens he's a model citizen with the Dallas Cowboys, and I love it. All right.
Yes! Here we go!
Yeah, Bass, you're right. Ain't none of them guys Dak, man. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I forgot Kenny Pickett. Oh, my gosh. Man, I think we just named 5 of the worst quarterbacks in the league, bruh. I'm sorry. Man, George Pickens was a magician. Man, this dude was a magician, man. Man, this dude was a magician playing with them boys. All right, man.
Yes! Here we go!
Next segment. Let me tell y'all something. Von Miller can tell me anything he wants to. Y'all tell me maybe I'm reaching. Von Miller to me sounds like he's talking about the Dallas Cowboys. I can't think of too many teams he could be talking about. Shout out to Shifty QB1. Max Crosby asked Von Miller where his head's at in free agency. This was Von Miller's answer to Max Crosby about being in free agency. Check this out.
I would love to be on a team that has a great quarterback, great.
Oh, hold on. I want to be on a team that has a great quarterback. How many teams could he be talking about? Now, I would say he could be talking like about 4 or 5 teams. Because when we talk about great quarterbacks, I think there's only about 5 great quarterbacks in this league. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I think there's only about 5 great quarterbacks. We talked about it the other day. We're probably talking about Mahomes. We're probably talking about Dak. We're talking about Stafford, Allen, Lamar Jackson. I think when you're talking about great, and if you want to go out on the fringe, you're talking about Joe Burrow, maybe, we could be talking about Sam Darnold, a Sam Darnold, even if man is in Justin Herbert, if man. But when we're talking about great, Mahomes, Dak, Allen, Jackson, and I forgot the other one. But nevertheless, This sounds like he's talking about the Dallas Cowboys. This sounds like he's talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Let's go with one more thing he says.
Pass rush system.
So, hold on. He says pass rush. Now, when he says pass rush, he's going to be a part of that pass rush. Now, the Cowboys don't have a great pass rush as far as we know as of yet. But I do think this pass rush is going to be better than last year, and I think people are underestimating our man Rashawn Gary. But again, if you told me you could line up Rashawn Gary, Kenny Clark, Quinnen Williams, and Von Miller on 3rd and long, rushing the passer, I like our chances. Yeah, I like our chances. I like our chances. I like our chances, Cowboys. But this is the next part. Let me let you hear the next part. He would be a part of the second part. Listen what he said about the third part.
System already in place.
System already in place. Christian Parker, anybody? The system's in place. The system's in place. And when I think system, I'm not just thinking system. I'm thinking players in the system. The Cowboys have a really good system. We just waiting to see what it looks like on the field defensively. But when you look at the system, Christian Parker, the players, we got a very good system in place. The question we have right now is Deron Bland and these cornerbacks. But we got a really good system in place. This sounds like the Dallas Cowboys to me. It sounds like Von Miller wants to play for the Cowboys. Bad, boy. I mean bad. Here we come these comments. Man, this dude wants to go to Dallas bad. He wants to go to Dallas bad, boy. Quinn said, yeah, he wants to play in Dallas bad. Bazzi said that alone narrows it down to only 6 teams. Yes. Worley, yep, great quarterback. I heard. Hey, he talking about Dak, man. Posting himself in the Cowboys uniform. Quinn. Bass said, colder climate teams for older vets, man, they tend to steer clear of all that. He said the vets even slip OTA caps, etc. Tyrod. Yeah, he want to play in Dallas, man. Playing inside that dome, too. Family here in Dallas. Yeah, he want to pick up that phone. Now, Bass, I think what he's trying to do, he's trying to go into the court of public opinion first. He's trying to sway the Cowboys by saying, hey, Cowboys Nation wants me, Jerry. Cowboys Nation wants me, Jerry. Come get me. Yeah, that's what he's saying. Come get me. Jeremy Betts on GP and CD, he said, I think they both get they want to outdo each other, but at the same time knows they can eat off each other too. So I believe they're excited about what all that is about to bring. Yeah, they want each other to be successful. I love the relationship that CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens have. Frank Law said, Jerome, there's top player like Pickens, see other teams handing out big money extensions to receivers on rookies' contracts. He couldn't shine his shoes, and he's 27.3 tag. Understandable, he got hurt feelings. Yeah, you know what? But I'm going to give him credit, though, because he decided to overcome his feelings. And I believe Dak is basically insured, and, bro, you're going to get paid. Yeah, but again, man, this dude, Von Miller, he won't play for the Cowboys, man. Check it out.
Raiders are
Cal
Raiders.
Cal Mendoza.
And just
I'm not mad at it.
because I need 3, you know.
They know doggone well he ain't talking about no dang-gone Mendoza, man. Stop it. Man, this dude ain't even played his first NFL game. Stop it.
When you get to year 16, like, and you start looking at lists, and I need 3 sacks. 3.5 sacks would really separate me. But if you get on a team like I know the Raiders will be, or the Broncos, or the Commanders, or the Bills, like, I can really roll into what I've been doing my whole life.
Well, the funny thing is, the teams that he mentioned don't fit the bill. You said great quarterback. Jaden Daniels is not a great quarterback yet. Bo Nix isn't a great quarterback yet. Come on, man. Mendoza, stop it. This dude hasn't even played a down yet. And I think it's crazy he even mentioned the Commanders. I mean, that's just crazy work to me. We already know who he's talking about. Because those teams, when you talk about what he said, pass rush system and great quarterback, the Broncos have 2 of the 3. They don't have a great quarterback. Commanders, I don't think they have any of the 3 yet. He's talking about the Cowboys. At least that's what I choose to believe.
What do you look for, like, when you're?
I would love to be on a team.
We already know he's already talked about wanting to play for the Cowboys, but we're going to see what happens with Von Miller. We're going to see what happens with Von Miller. I'm not really sure the Cowboys are going to make that Von Miller move. I think the Cowboys may have another move up their sleeve rather than Von Miller. And I'll be honest with you, as much as I wouldn't love to have Von Miller, but I would love to have Jordan Brooks more. I think Jordan Brooks does more for the Cowboys than Von Miller. And the reason why I'm saying that is, we already know Von Miller is coming here for one thing and one thing only. Von Miller, he just asked a question. Does Von Miller got a full glass of juice left? I don't think so. I don't think he does. I think he comes in, he's a specialist. I don't think he does. He's coming in to rush the passer for you. But if you get Jordan Brooks is an every down player. He can rush the passer. He can stop the run. He can defend the pass. He can play against tight ends. He's a tackle machine. Jordan Brooks is the full package. That's the player that I want to Cowboys. Bass, me and you in the same boat, bro. Me and you and some others. I think Von Miller, again, he's a specialist. I think he can do some things for you situationally. But you're going to get more value out of Jordan Brooks. I really need Jerry Jones to give Troy Aikman a call and tell him he's sorry. I really do. I need Troy Aikman to give him a call. Jerome, he said it's not easy, as a lot of people thinking. If all it had to be done is Jerry write a check, GP would have $250. Yeah, I would agree. But hey, don't worry, Jerome. He's going to be here next year. All right. Let's move on over here to Rashawn Gary.
Yes! Here we go!
Let me tell you something. I really think people are underestimating this man. I really think people are underestimating what Rashawn Gary is going to look like with the Dallas Cowboys, being in his second year off of a knee injury. I think it'll be his second year off that knee injury. I really think people are underestimating this man. And having BT Jordan on this team, I really think people are underestimating Rashawn Gary. This is Rashawn Gary. He out here, man, he out here coaching and everything. I like Rashawn Gary.
Hold on. Time out. So look, with you, right? You just focus on taking that first step. But the main thing, coach said stay on your toes, right? So we right here. You have to stay a little air underneath your heel. So when you push, boom. Push off. And then you see how I'm landing right here? You're supposed to motherfucking try to stay without.
Yeah.
There you go. Yep. Now you got control. Go. There you go. Rotate. There you go.
Hold on. Hey, let me tell y'all something. This man, Rashawn Gary, man, I think he's being underestimated. This dude is going to have a Mount Rushmore chip on his shoulder. Rashawn Gary is going to have a Mount Rushmore chip on his shoulder because so many people, man, I'm telling you, them dudes over there in Green Bay, they cruel, man. Calling this man 007, man. Calling this man 007 is crazy work. Crazy work. I think Rashawn Gary is going to play a lot better than people believe. If Brooks comes here, Quinn, he gonna have to get a long-term deal. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But July 15th passed by Quinn, and Jordan Brooks didn't get the long-term deal. I got a feeling that Jordan Brooks, I will not be surprised if he's playing for somebody else when the season starts. If he's not playing for somebody else when the season starts, bare minimum, Jordan Brooks will be a trade deadline. He will be a trade deadline trade. I will not be surprised. Yeah. Will not be surprised. Frank Lawrence said, my gut tells me Jerry and Shotty building something special for 2026. We won't lose because we are unprepared and not focused on football like other recent years. Yeah. And I don't think they're done. I'm telling you, I do not think they're done with this squad. I don't. Now, what we going to do? Oh, Harris, let me tell you what we're going to do. If we sign Brooks, remember, we only have $5 million left under the cap. The only way we're going to sign Brooks is that means we're going to have to go ahead and extend Quinnen Williams. Quinnen Williams' contract, they can rework anytime they want to, I believe. So Quinnen Williams will probably be the next one to get the contract redone. Because this is his last year of guaranteed money. And he will not play next year with no guaranteed money. There's no doubt about that. He will not play next year with no guaranteed money. So I believe he will be the next one that'll get his deal redone. All right. Moving right along. Wrong button.
Yes! Here we go.
All right. Yeah, Jerome Miller. You want me to say it for the people in the back? Yeah, we only got $5 million. That's all we have. Right now, all we have is $5 million. We missed the opportunity to rework George Pickens. So we got that deal now. So the only deal we can really rework is Quinnen Williams, is extend Quinnen Williams. Yeah, extend Quinnen Williams. And that's what's going to happen. Yeah, it's going to have to be Quinnen Williams. Quinnen Williams will have to be extended in order for the Cowboys to make their next move. Because if they don't, I mean, they're going to be up under the what can you do with $5 million? Even if they plan on doing something by the trade deadline, they're going to have to extend Quinnen Williams. So Quinnen Williams is the next contract since we didn't redo George Pickens. Jerome Miller, and this is one of the very reasons why I don't think Von Miller's going to be a Dallas Cowboy. Cowboys ain't paying Von Miller no $5 million. Cowboys ain't paying Von Miller no $5 million. I'd be shocked if they did. They're not paying Von Miller no $5 million, man. You know, the Cowboys, when we think about it, I think there's a player that people may not be thinking about. Yeah, Jerome Miller. And you said, do we got 12 more to give Brooks? That'll be the Quinnen Williams deal. That'll be the Quinnen Williams deal. If Brooks comes on the table, Quinnen Williams will get extended first. That'll be the Quinnen Williams deal. You will see Quinnen Williams and Jordan Brooks get signed almost back to back. But again, you know, when you start thinking about this Cowboys roster, I think there's a player on here that people aren't thinking about. And we talked about him the other day. There's a player on this Cowboys team, and I think the Cowboys are hoping that this guy is better than what people believe. Let's not forget about this guy they got on defense we talked about yesterday. And I almost forgot about him. But let's be careful not to forget about this guy. Let's see if he's on the roster. Do they have him on the roster here? I think his name is, it doesn't look like they have him on here. Oh, here he is. This guy right here. I believe the Cowboys are hoping that Charles Snowden can come in here and do something. I really do. I really think they're thinking Charles Snowden can come in here and do something. We're going to get a full dose of Charles Snowden in the preseason because he won't be able to play the first 3 games. You're going to get a full dose of Charles Snowden. I think the Cowboys think this guy can do something. We're gonna see what we see at Oxnard, California is going to tell us a lot. It's going to tell us a lot. What they do in Oxnard, California, especially against the Rams. I think whatever happens against the Rams is going to tell the Cowboys whether or not they need to start pushing hard for maybe a couple of players. Jerome, he said you need to do a show explaining the salary cap to the fans, breaking down how it works. Maybe then they'll understand the moves the Cowboys made. Yeah, we'll talk about that more. As a matter of fact, I have a feeling it's going to come up. Because the only way you're getting Jordan Brooks, you're going to have to go in there and redo that salary cap. And the only move, and I'm sure there's others, but the major move the Cowboys can make right now is Quinn Williams. That's going to be the next contract. If the Cowboys do anything at the trade deadline, it's going to be Quinn Williams. If they do anything during the preseason or after the preseason and they want to bring in a big player, Quinn Williams is going to get extended first. And when Quinn Williams gets extended first, book it. The domino is falling. That means the Cowboys are about to make a move. So, any major move, when you see Quinn Williams get extended, book it. The Cowboys are about to make a major move the moment you see Quinn Williams get extended. All right. Let's move on to another segment here. Mina Kimes.
Here we go.
I want to see where Mina Kimes is on the hype train. Because I can tell you this. She definitely on the Caleb Downs hype train. Shoot, Mina Kimes, boy. You ask Mina Kimes. Shoot, Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs is going to turn everything around in Cowboys Nation. So Mina Kimes has power ranked, and I think she's already did this with Ryan Clark. And I think she's done it again, but in a different way. Let's go over here to Mina Kimes. Mina Kimes has her power rank. Mina Kimes has her power rank. And the only thing I really want to see is who does she have at number 1, and then I'm going to see where the Cowboys are. But this is Mina Kimes' power rank. Shout out to Mina Kimes, featuring Lenny.
Welcome back to the Mina Kimes Show featuring Lenny, Power Hour edition. So excited for this week's Power Hour because I have a first-time guest. We had talked before about making
Okay, I guess she does this like with different people because she already did it with Ryan Clark.
some Broncos content. And then the Broncos kind of fizzled out that season. But Brandon Perna, I'm very optimistic about them this season, which is part of the reason why I wanted you on to do this particular exercise, because Broncos finished very high last week, and you are a Broncos fan. You also cover the entire NFL on your YouTube channel. Tell us about it, and also, are you scared about all the Broncos enthusiasm?
I mean, a little. The last time
The Super Bowl champs, the Seattle Seahawks, versus everybody's off-season darling, the Los Angeles Rams,
Ooh.
who is the best team in the NFL.
Yeah, that's a fun one. It's a little intimidating knowing you're a Seahawks fan and you might have some strong, counters for this. But Myles Garrett going to the Rams seems a little bit like a cheat code, right? What was that? I missed it.
Oh, no, I put it up the Rams. I assume you're picking the Rams.
I mean, I think that's the hot pick, right?
I'm getting out ahead of it. I don't know. Well, I don't know, unless you were pulling like a big fake out on me.
Let me give you guys a hot take, and then we're going to see where the NFC East is in this, because that's what I did with Ryan Clark. I wanted to see who they picked first. Tell me if this makes sense to y'all. Tell me if this makes sense. I believe if you're talking about talent, excuse me, if you're talking about talent, the Rams may have the most talented team in the NFL. Talented. But if you're talking about the best team in the NFL, I'm talking about front office, coaches, systems, players. The Seattle Seahawks may still be the best team. We're going to see. Seattle Seahawks have a very good team. They were not the most talented team last year and they won the Super Bowl. You got a couple of calls go their way too against the Rams last year. We ain't going to disregard that. They got a couple of calls went their way. But I think they're the most talented. I think they're the better team. But the Rams are the more talented team. So we're going to see what that means this year. Because it's going to come down to who has the best team. And this is why when you start moving this pecking order of better teams, the Dallas Cowboys are starting to move up into the echelon of good teams. We're moving up there. We got to see what we look like in Oxnard, California. But the moves on paper, we are definitely a better team, a better defense, just better overall. But we got to see it in action to know just how good are we. How fast will the defense be, how fast will the defense put into action what they've learned? How fast will they put that into action? By what game will we see them start putting it all together as an entire team? But right now, I think the Seahawks are the best team, but the Rams, and I'm predicating this on Aaron Donald, I believe, is coming out of retirement to play for the Rams. And that, I think, is going to make the Rams the most talented team. Still don't mean they're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to tell you, in my estimation, if the Rams don't win the Super Bowl, I'm sorry, it's a failure. When you make a move like the Rams made, that's a win right now move. If you bring Aaron Donald out of retirement and Myles Garrett with that trade, and you don't win the Super Bowl this year, failure. And every year you don't win the Super Bowl after that is failure. Bottom line, it's failure. The Rams are trying to hit either this year or next. And if they don't hit neither one of those years, failure. To get Myles Garrett and bring Aaron Donald out of retirement, failure if you don't win. Failure. But I wanted to kind of see who she was going to pick. Let me see here. I'm kind of flabbergasted. Mina Kimes and this guy have Denver Broncos number 2, Rams number 3, Bills number 4, Ravens number 5. Where do y'all think she has the Cowboys? 49ers number 6. I think the Cowboys are better than the 49ers this year. Texans at number 7. I'm struggling with that with C.J. Stroud. Come on, man. This dude has the Chargers at number 8. Come on, bro. If man strikes again. If man strikes again. If man strikes again, there is no way you could have the Chargers power ranked at number 8. Philadelphia Eagles power ranked at number 9. Well, if the Eagles are power ranked at number 9, I'm just going to go out on the limb. They would have to have the Cowboys power ranked at number 10. I haven't looked that far ahead. Let's check out what they say about the Eagles. Why would the Eagles be number 9?
Niners are still an option for you at 9. I'm going to put them up against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Ooh.
I think the Cowboys are going to be better than both of these teams this year. Very excited the fact the Cowboys got the 49ers on the schedule this year in Dallas. I'm very excited about that.
Eagles. I'm going Eagles still.
Really? Oh, the Niners are falling.
I know.
Okay. Talk to me about the Eagles.
Well, they got my guy Vic Fangio there still, right? Thought he was going to retire, but he's coming back for another year.
You know what? I said something the other day. Me and Bass was saying something the other day. The Eagles are expecting to be better without A.J. Brown. But I forgot another person. The Eagles lost. They also lost Christian Parker. Yeah. If we don't think that man was helping out Vic Fangio, we have another thing coming. He lost Christian Parker, too. I want to see what he looks like without Christian Parker. No Christian Parker on defense. No A.J. Brown on offense. And they have him at number 9. Okay, I want to see where they got the Cowboys.
Let's see. I think change at offensive coordinator is what Eagles fans are praying saves their offense. Who's their new coordinator? Mannion?
Yeah, Mannion. Yeah. First time, very dramatic change. I mean, I think this is the reason why the Eagles aren't higher for me is it's just so unknown, right? Like we just don't know. We know the defense is going to be good. Vic Fangio, most people are coming back. They've added some players, Reek Woolen from Seattle. I think they're going to be awesome. But I think this offense might take a second to really click.
Yeah. And I think Sean Mannion needs a Ring doorbell if he's going to coach in Philly. And I mean, to me, it's like their offensive line, if it's close to as good as we've gotten accustomed to, I think the run game functions like it did just a year ago when Saquon was running for 2,000 yards. Losing A.J. Brown is like, how big of an impact is that for the offense overall? They draft, Mekhi Lemon? So, and I mean, if Mekhi Lemon is not good in Philly, having like the last name Lemon, that's a tough fan base to deal with every week.
I know. You said it, like the thing with the coordinator too, like Sean Mannion is they're going to be calling for him to be fired or he's going to be hired as a coach, right? Like there's like no in between in Philadelphia. I just think that the defense is a stabilizing force enough where I'm comfortable with them in the top 10, even though I have questions. Okay, the Niners dropping. Will their fall continue? They're like Shador Sanders in the draft room right now.
I'm going to take them all the way to the 5th round of these power rankings.
We'll see.
All right, so I'll just spoil it now. So the Cowboys are not in her top 10, or at least in their top 10, because I thought when she did this with Ryan Clark, the Cowboys were in the top 10. All right, so let's see what she has. Okay, this is what she has the Cowboys. Let's check out what she has the Cowboys. Check this out.
Grown-ups this offseason. Nothing like...
Let me read here. Demetrius Noel said, it's completely mind-boggling that the Chargers keep being ranked as high as they are. For what reason? I'm clueless. I know what it is. If man. Yeah, if man. Everybody keep... If Justin Herbert. If. You're going to get Harbaugh fired too. Demetrius Noel said, even if you're a great coach, you still need the players and pieces for your team to be good. You need the X's and the O's and the Jimmies and the Joes. You need both. Yeah. If man is why the Chargers keep being high. All right, listen to what she got the Cowboys.
Flashy, but I like Brian Cook going over there.
Oh, this guy has the Cowboys.
I think Boye Mafe was a solid addition, especially paired next to, Dexter Lawrence. So the thing that's really ruined them besides injuries to Joe Burrow, I think their defense will be good, or at least respectable pairing, considering they tied each other last year. And we've got the Micah trade that happened. I don't know if I could show up and do another live stream with Tom Grossi if I picked the Cowboys over his Packers. So I'll go Green Bay because I think once they get healthy, they're going to be competitive. And that's not to knock the Cowboys. I kind of like what they've done. Sans just not having Micah Parsons, but yeah, give me the Packers there.
I also think the Packers are a team that's going to be better at the end of the year than the beginning. the beginning, we might be like, ooh, I don't know, this defense. And then at the end, I wouldn't be surprised if they look really good.
And that's when you want them to be good, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm still a Packers.
Actually, you want to be good the entire season. I mean, at least somewhat good so you can make a run at the end.
Optimist. I just think it might take a second. Okay. Cowboys versus a team that I think I'm higher on than many nationally. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm going the Jags. I'm super high on Jackson.
Oh my gosh. Come on, man. Man, I'm like you, Queen. Now, when she did this with Ryan Clark, Cowboys way up at number 8. And I'm not hating on them about Jacksonville being pretty good. But the Cowboys, I believe, are going to be better than, man, Green Bay. Come on, stop this madness. Cowboys are going to be better than the Green Bay Packers all the way around.
Cowboys, will they finish in the top half? Well, this is spot 15. And let's do it. No, I'm not going to do it.
Cowboys Chiefs? Were you going to say Cowboys Chiefs?
I was going to do that. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to put the Chiefs here. I'm going to put the Lions here. Cowboys Lions.
Ooh. Oh, man. I just shot a Lions video, and I've like started to convince myself like I'm down on the Lions, and I've been
defense, dude.
I mean, what happened? The significant news with the Lions and their defense and their secondary.
When you open Our Lads, which I do way too much, and you see like red names, you know, and like because they're injured, you're just like, oh god, it's a lot of red on that Our Lads chart. But the offense still slaps.
That's all I looked at this morning, was Our Lads to remind myself of all the players I forgot changed teams this offseason. But yeah, Kirby Joseph, question.
All right. Man, we just had a bad blackout or something over here in, or at least in my place they did, just blew the power out. Everything. Man, everything went black over here. All right, man. Let's see if we can kind of resume where we were. But yeah, it knocked out everything over here. All right. All right, guys. I appreciate y'all being back with me. For all y'all who back, if I guess everybody else had to catch the rest on the replay. See how this all goes. Hold on, let me make a couple of adjustments here. Yeah, just had a power outage, man. I don't know what the world going on. All right. Let's see if we can get back into this. Do our last 2 or 3 segments. We still got quite a bit to go. All right. I don't know if that was an interruption for y'all, but man, I just had a blackout. All right, let's see if we can get this thing. Let's see. All right, let's see if we can get this back rolling. All right, so Mina Kimes and whoever this guy is. Yeah, they were singing a different story. Yeah, we're live, Ty Howard. Man, I had a power outage. I don't know what happened. It just blew everything out. Okay, it didn't blow out for y'all, man. I just had a power outage over here, man. Everything went black. Everything in the house. All right. So, Mina Kimes, I'm trying to figure out where do they have the Dallas Cowboys? Because we just saw that they picked. Let me go back. Let me see if I missed something here. All right, this is Mina Kimes again.
Cowboys versus a team that I think I'm higher on than many nationally. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Ooh. All right. Yeah, Quinn, I had a blackout over here.
Jags. I'm super high on Jacksonville. I think they played better than I think any opponent the Broncos had all of last season when we faced Jacksonville. I like Liam Cohen and what he got out of, Trevor Lawrence in the offense. And my guy Travis Hunter's over there. And I think they're going to be using him appropriately at corner first and then letting him kind of work in at receiver. It was crazy to me that they didn't do that last year, because if you watched him at CU, he was a better corner than he was a wide receiver. And he was great at both. And it was just him never coming off the field was one of the most insane things you would watch out of a player.
Okay, I'm trying to see.
At least I've seen. So just putting him over there. They lose Devin Lloyd, which is kind of huge for that defense, but I think they're a good team and a well-coached team.
All my DB friends are very excited about Travis Hunter. Like Ryan Clark, when he was drafted, was like, he should play corner. He should play corner. He should play corner. And he was so frustrated. And now do you think they have their corner?
Okay, let me see from this card, see if I missed some. She's holding the card up right here. I'm trying to see where does she have the Cowboys. Okay, let me see. I must have missed some. Let me go back. Okay, I guess this is what she's calling the Cowboys. Let's go back. Okay, I guess I missed this part. All right, this is where Mina Kimes has the Cowboys ranked. Let's see.
Cowboys, will they finish in the top half?
Okay, and we saw this. She says they're number 15.
Well, this is spot 15. And let's do it. No, I'm not going to do it.
Cowboys Chiefs, were you say Cowboys?
So it looks like she's just basically saying the Cowboys are number 15.
I was going to do that. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to put the Chiefs here. I'm going to put the Lions here. Cowboys, Lions.
Ooh. Oh, man. I just shot a Lions video, and I've like started to convince myself like I'm dead.
Okay, so we've heard this part before. So it just basically sounds like that she has the Cowboys at 15, because I don't see anywhere else where the Cowboys are. But he's saying that even though she has the Cowboys at 15, he's saying he's picking the Lions over the Cowboys at 15. So that's basically what Mina Kimes is saying. All right, let's go down here. And this is where she has everything up. Yeah, this is where she has everything up. So on her list,
this is what you want to happen.
She got the Cowboys at 15, and he said he's picking the Lions over the Cowboys. All right, so let's just for a moment, let's look at the NFC teams on here. Rams, Bills, I think that says the Seahawks, Eagles, Bears, Niners, Packers. I'm thinking the Jags. Are they in the NFC or the AFC? I think the Jags in the AFC. Okay, so she's saying that there are 9 teams in front of the Dallas Cowboys. Seahawks, Broncos, Rams. Okay, Seahawks, Broncos, Rams. Can't really see. Let me see.
So he just gave this.
Okay, that's so that okay. Seahawks, Broncos, Rams, Eagles, Niners.
This is a gift.
Okay. Niners, Bears, Packers, Cowboys. So those are the 8 teams. I don't think there's any way these teams, I see the Eagles and the 49ers on the decline. Both of them. I think both of their defenses will be pretty decent and maybe even pretty good. But offensively, both of those teams, I believe, are going to struggle. 49ers don't have the same offense. 49ers don't have the same offense. The Packers, I think, are going to struggle. The Eagles definitely don't have the same offense. New offense coordinator, no A.J. Brown, aging offensive line. We're going to see what they are. I think both of their defenses will be good, but I think overall they won't be better than the Cowboys. There are 3 teams. There are only 2 teams I'm really concerned about with the Cowboys. There's only 2. The Packers, I don't think they're going to be I believe they're going to have another wasted year with Michael Parsons. I see them finishing 10-7. I'll be shocked if they go anything other than 10-7. I think the only 2 teams that are going to give the Cowboys a serious run for their money will be the Seahawks and the Broncos. I think it'll be the Seahawks and the Broncos. I believe the Cowboys will win 5 out of 6 in the NFC East. If not 6 out of 6, I think they'll win 5 out of 6. We don't even play the Lions, if I'm not mistaken. We don't even play them during the regular season. So in the grand scheme of things, I don't see the Cowboys. I don't see them having many problems. I really don't. And I'm ready, Caitlin. I'm ready. I'm ready to see the Cowboys play the 49ers in Dallas. If you're talking about a game that I have circled, I have the Cowboys and the 49ers circled. I so want to see that game. All right, so that's kind of where Mina Kimes and whoever this guy was. Last week, the Cowboys, I think, were at number 8. This week, they got the Cowboys somewhere else, so it is what it is at this point. So I guess we just got to roll whatever she has. That's her. All right.
Yes! Here we go!
All right, hold on. All right, so now let's go over here. I don't know if you saw this, but Rich Eisen was talking, Jason Garrett was talking to Rich Eisen about the Dallas Cowboys. Let's check this out. I don't know if y'all saw this.
I feel bad for Malik.
Excuse me. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, she's got the Cowboys at 15. Let me show you that again. That's where it is. She's got the Cowboys at 15. And again, and you know what? I will include the Bears in there. The Bears were pretty good. I want to see them do it again. The Bears beat the Cowboys last year. Very excited about the Cowboys playing the Bears. But I'm still not as worried about the Bears. I'm more concerned about the Seahawks and the Rams. I think the Cowboys can beat the Bears. Not playing them this year, as far as I remember. We won't see them also until the playoffs. So we'll see how all that shakes down. All right, so let's go over here. Again, Jason Garrett was over here talking about the Dallas Cowboys. And he had quite a bit to say. Let me see if we want to do. Let me see if I just want to do. Let's see if he's got. Okay, good. He's got this broken up. All right, so he's actually got a couple of good segments on here. So let's check out the one first. Jason Garrett talking about Dak Prescott. Check this out.
Jason Garrett here on the Rich Eisen Show. You just said seconds ago that you used to tell stories to players to try and, I guess, coach them up or give them perspective. What story did you tell Dak Prescott in 2016 when suddenly he was thrust to the fore of everything for your team, Jason?
Well, I probably learned as much from him that he learned from us. And I'll tell you that story. He came in, we drafted him in the 4th round. And my thought when we drafted him was, hey, this guy can be the next quarterback of the Cowboys. There's no doubt in my mind about that. But my biggest concern was the initial transition, because he had been a gun quarterback, a lot of quarterback runs at Mississippi State. He showed us all the things that you wanted, both as a player and as a person. But I felt like there was going to be some time for him to transition into what we're doing, because we were under center as well as in the gun. And we did some different things that he hadn't done in school. And then, Kellen Moore gets hurt, then Tony Romo gets hurt. He gets thrust into it. And we lose the first game. And then
it was destiny for Dak Prescott to be the quarterback of the Cowboys. Tony Romo and Kellen Moore got hurt, man. Kellen Moore and Tony Romo. That's crazy.
We win 11 in a row. And,
it
probably
2016 was incredible. 11 in a row.
8 weeks into that stretch, I remember asking him, I said, Dak, how are you doing this? How are you getting these guys to play for you? Because the guys on our team absolutely loved playing for him. And it was obvious that they were playing for him. And I said, I never see you make any speech or anything like that. You're never like hollering at guys or whatever things that you anticipate leaders to do. And he said, no, coach, I can't do that. The biggest thing I've tried to do is develop relationships with the guys. And it's easier on the offensive side of the ball, more difficult on the defensive side of the ball, but he would play chess with some of the defensive guys. And I can remember at least a few times we'd be in a staff meeting on the 2nd floor of the building, and there'd be some racket coming from the locker room 3 or 4 hours after practice. And I'd go down there like, what the hell's going on in here? And there were 15, 20 guys in the locker room playing hamper basketball with this giant tennis ball. You bounce it, and then it lands into the hamper. And Prescott was the guy kind of engineering the whole thing.
Now, I want you to listen to the story that Jason Garrett is talking. And if you go back to the 2024 season and some of the things that Dak Prescott was complaining about with his team, and then you listen to, does this not sound familiar? Brian Schottenheimer, all the hoops in the office, or the little basketball hoops, the ping pong. This sounds like maybe some of the things that Shotty is doing. I had mentioned this before. Maybe some of these things are actually an extension of Dak Prescott. I really believe if Dak Prescott wants to, he'll be a coach in this league in the future. Does this stuff not sound like what they're doing now? Dak Prescott couldn't do all these things on his own. And so Shotty is just helping him do more of the things that Dak Prescott saw as a vision for this team. Because again, players wanted to play for Dak Prescott, play for. And if you even hear some of these guys today, they talk about how they won a Super Bowl for Dak Prescott. So Dak Prescott, from the moment he stepped onto the Cowboys, he been a leader. And this is what got Tony Romo. Tony Romo didn't get his position back, not because he wasn't more talented as a quarterback than Dak Prescott. In 2016, Tony Romo had came into his own. Tony Romo was a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. But he wasn't a better leader and quarterback than Dak Prescott. And that's what set them apart. And by that time, Dak Prescott was more talented than Tony Romo from a perspective of the dual threat quarterback. He was more talented. And so Romo couldn't get his job back. It goes to show you from the moment Dak stepped on this team, he was a leader. He was a leader.
And, his big thing was I have to develop relationships with these guys. I have to take time with them.
Sounds like what Brian Schottenheimer says, isn't it? Building relationships. Dak was talking about this in 2016. And I think this is Jason Garrett letting us in on this. Dak's been doing this type of stuff.
And once you develop that relationship, that's when they want to play for you. And to me, that was a great lesson that I learned from a rookie quarterback. It was really
Yeah, man, I think that's great what he's saying, because maybe these are some things that maybe even Shotty could have picked up from Dak Prescott. Because if Jason Garrett didn't say that this was 2016, you would think that this is Dak Prescott telling Jason Garrett this stuff today. No, this is him talking about 2016 in this man's rookie year. You're watching, he said, what? Dak playing chess with the defense. And maybe not chess per se, but playing chess as in the way he's dealing with them with some of the games and getting close to the defense, and had this team playing for him. I'm telling you, some of the things that we're seeing from Shotty, man, maybe these are some things too. And I would say not even maybe. These are things that came from Dak Prescott too.
interesting to me. Dean Blandino obviously was the guy back in the booth at the time, and Gene Steratore was the game official. And as you remember, it was called a catch on the field. And, there was always a question of, okay, how long does someone have to possess the ball in order for it to be a catch? And if I heard the official say it once, I literally heard him say it 1,000 times. It was time enough to make a football move. Time enough to make a football move. And then they'd be very clear with you. They say, they don't even have to make a football move. They just need time enough to make a football move. And so that was ringing in my head as I saw Des Bryant catch this ball on about the 6-yard line in the air and switch the ball and get 1, 2, 3 down, take the ball here, lunge and extend it to the goal line, and then the ball comes out. And I reminded them of that. I said, time enough to make a football move. The guy made 8 of them on his way down.
You want to talk about a very emotional play for the Dallas Cowboys? If there is ever a play that you could say is going to go down in infamy, it is the Dez Bryant catch. This game, and I don't know if the Cowboys would have won this game. Let me see if I can find how much time was left on the clock. Because the Cowboys were having a hard time stopping the Green Bay Packers. Let's see if I can find that. How much time was left on the clock? I wonder if we can find that. Okay. So this is the crazy part. We were still going to be in a situation if we scored. It was 4:42 left on the clock when they ruled that Dez Bryant didn't make the catch. But the thing is, the Dallas Cowboys probably could have ran more time off the clock. They probably could have ran more time off the clock. But I don't think they could have ran enough time off the clock to where it would have been below 3.5. I don't think they could have got it to the point to where it would have been below 3 minutes. So at the end of the day, the Green Bay Packers were still going to get the ball back. They were still going to get the ball back. But I still wonder if the Cowboys could have pulled it off. They had a long, and I'm telling us, I remember that game like yesterday. We couldn't stop the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers was hobbling out there on a bad calf, and we still couldn't stop him. But I just wonder if the Cowboys could have pulled off a stop. Let me see. Anybody remember what the score was? Let me see if I can pull that up. Just trying to figure out what the score was at the time on the scoreboard. Okay, so let me give us the scenario. It was 26-21. The Cowboys would have went up 26-28. Now, let's keep in mind, in that game, I believe the Green Bay Packers get the ball back somewhere with around the 3-minute mark. They would have got it back 3 minutes. The Cowboys would have been up 26-28. So the question becomes, could the Cowboys have stopped the Green Bay Packers from doing the same thing they did in 2016? Because in the grand scheme of things, because the score was 26-28, the only thing the Green Bay Packers would have had to do is get a field goal. The only thing they would have had to score is a field goal. The Cowboys would have been only up by 2. So the question is, do the Cowboys win that game? I would have loved to see it. Hey, Cowboys, I would have loved to see if they could win the game. But Dean Blandino robbed the Cowboys of seeing if they even had that opportunity. And it was a strange game. It was a very strange game that day. DeMarco Murray had a crucial fumble, broke a long run, and if DeMarco Murray doesn't fumble that ball, the Dallas Cowboys actually go up by double digits. It looks like they might would have ran away from the Green Bay Packers had DeMarco Murray not fumbled that ball. But when DeMarco Murray fumbled that ball, it changed the momentum of that game. It changed the momentum. If he doesn't fumble that ball, I think they might just go ahead and run off with the game. I think they run off with it. Jeremy Betts said DeMarco Murray had a big fumble. Yes. Where he had a lane big enough to drive a truck through for a touchdown. Yeah. I think if DeMarco Murray scores that touchdown, they win that game. Let me see. What was the score? Trying to think of what the score was. Let me see if I can pull it up. Okay. So let's think about how crucial this was. It was 14-14 when DeMarco Murray fumbled that ball. The Cowboys are about to go up 21-14. I believe the Cowboys win that game if they go up. It was a wonky game, man. It was. Renan said they would take the try for 2 points conversion. Yeah, field goal draw. Yeah, I'm wondering, okay, 2 points was in by then, right? Yeah, we're doing 2-point conversions in 2014, right? It was a wonky game. Let me see. Yeah, the 2-point conversion. Okay, so the 2-point conversion is in effect. So the Cowboys would have went for the 2-point conversion. So that means the score would have been 27-26. Cowboys scored the extra. If the Cowboys would have got the 2-point conversion, it would have been 29-26. Man, I'm telling you, it was a wonky game. It really was. It was a wonky game. Demetrius Noel said, gee, I'm not worried. Everyone in the world crowned France as the World Cup champions. Guess we won't be at the dance come Sunday. I hope the Rams saw that. Yep. Yeah, best team don't equal the Super Bowl. As much as people think that. I mean, I'm sorry, the most talent don't equal the Super Bowl. Yeah, this was a very crucial play right here. I'm telling you, this play changed Dez Bryant's career. This play changed Tony Romo's career. Tony Romo never got the opportunity after this. Everybody thought 2016 was going to be Tony Romo's year. Got Zeke Elliott. Everybody thought the Cowboys are going to make a serious run for the Super Bowl. He wound up getting hurt.
You know,
It changed everything. Dallas Cowboys fan base. I mean, everything. It just was such an emotional and just transcendent call. It really was.
It was one of the greatest catches and one of the big moments that I've ever been around. And it was such a great play. And again, it was called a catch on the field. And for them to come back and overturn it, you know, clear and obvious, I think was the standard at the time. And for them to say it was clear and obvious that this was not a catch and to proactively overturn it, it was hard for me to understand. So I was trying to make all these points to Gene about time enough to make a football move. Look at all the moves he made, all of that. It was called a catch on the field. There's no clear and obvious to overturn this. And sure enough, they did. And, you know, I think it came from the precedent of the Calvin Johnson play.
That's right.
And they had boxed themselves into a corner about going to the ground and all of that. But he literally had it for like 5.5 yards and did 8 different things with the football before he hit the ground. And then, as you remember, they tried to justify the decision for at least 3 or 4 years afterwards. And the whole definition of a catch just became a real mess until they finally reestablished what the rule was. Officials to this day deny that it was a catch, but I'll go to my grave saying it. And the one big regret that I have about that whole situation was after the game, I was asked the question, and we always talked about no excuses, no explanations, and you just take full responsibility. And I said, hey, that was one play in a game. We had 56 minutes before and 4 minutes after, and we didn't get the job done. And my regret, I don't regret saying that and sharing that, but my regret was not recognizing the throw that Tony Romo made and the catch that Dez Bryant made, because I thought those plays were it was one for the ages. It was reminiscent of Bradshaw to Lynn Swan over Mark Washington. It was that kind of a catch, and I didn't fully recognize that and let the world know how I felt about the play they made.
Did Jerry?
Yeah, changed Dez Bryant's career and Tony Romo's. They were both. Isn't it insane? Tony Romo and Dez Bryant, both of them, shortly thereafter, were out of the league. Both of them. Once Dez was done with the Cowboys, Dez was pretty much done. Tony Romo, by that time, he's old and rickety, and he wasn't, somebody probably would have got him, but Tony's body had just broken down, man. Man, it changed the trajectory of this franchise. It really did.
Make a bunch of calls to the league office in the aftermath? Anything like that?
I have no idea. I mean, once it's over, it's over. I mean,
although my Dallas Cowboy friend and fan and colleague in the corner has been shaking his head this entire time.
Coach,
I mean,
I'm having PTSD now just thinking about that.
I don't know.
I'm hoping you agree with what I'm saying.
Every single word, Coach. Every single word. Des caught it. And if I live 1,000 years, for 1,000 years, I'm going to go to my grave and say the ball was caught, and it could have changed everything for you.
It actually did change everything. Yeah, it did. Changed everything. It absolutely did. It changed everything. That was the end of Dez Bryant's career. Pretty much. I do think Dez was in the 2016 game, though. I think Dez was there for that. But nevertheless, 2 years later, they're both out of the league. For the most part, they're both out of the league. Yeah, Demetrius Noel, you're right. There are some losses that completely deflate a player's career. They were never the same again. Yes, sir. They were never the same. Tough. It's tough. Fans were crying, man. I can remember jumping up and down I remember from jumping up and down to my wife crying.
It just stinks. It's
yeah,
horrible.
It was a remarkable play that he made. And Tony made a great throw. Like you said, it was a 4th down, and he saw the one-on-one outside and, gave that guy an opportunity. And nobody goes and gets the ball like Dez Bryant. So, it's a shame.
He outgrown manned another grown man.
Well, I mean, I think it is fitting, Jason, though, that you mentioned Calvin Johnson here, because and listen, I know we're talking first ballot Hall of Famer, the whole 9 yards with him. But I just think that the league did not account in the catch rule for somebody so physically talented that you could gain an amount of yards for a first down, 10 yards, in the process of grabbing it and then going to the goal line. Like he was such a physical freak, and there's now so many others in the league right now who can do something like that I just don't know if the league accounted for that.
Dez was Dez was just raw power. Just a different type of wide receiver. He's right. They didn't take into account that somebody like Dez Bryant could do that type of stuff.
Sort of special ability making a play like Dez had in the catch rule interpretation.
Yeah, no doubt. And just go back and look at it. Look at it in full speed. Look at it in slow motion. However you look at it, it's like, damn, what a play that he made.
Right.
And he was that kind of an athlete, like you said. And not only was he so gifted physically, he was an instinctive football player. And I think what he did, changing the ball and doing all the different things he did on that play, it showed his greatness. And unfortunately, the ball wobbled at the end, but. The other part of this thing, and I mentioned it earlier, that is still hard for me to understand is just the idea that it was called a catch on the field. And for them to be so aggressive in overturning it.
We know why they overturned it, Jason Garrett. We know why they overturned it. Yeah, we know why they overturned it.
It certainly wasn't clear and obvious, and it's not clear and obvious to this day.
You and Charles Woodson will have something in common in the fact that you'll never be shaken from your belief about a play. Like Charles will always say that was a fumble on the sack of Tom Brady. The tuck rule and Des caught it are just part of, NFL lexicons. And I appreciate you being so open, Jason Garrett. And I'd love to chat with you in August as well, prior to the season and prior to you going on Football Night in America on NBC. Is Sean McVay's challenge? Listen, what Nick Saban calls rat poison and things like what I would do, and now you're part of the media would say. 17-0 is what people are already talking about with Myles Garrett now on this team that returns everyone from an NFC Championship game season short of the Super Bowl that they could have made. And Aaron Donald could be in the ether too, Jason. What is Sean McVay's challenge, do you think?
Well, I worked for Nick Saban for 2 years, and I heard a lot of those rat poison speeches.
Nice.
Yeah, I think Sean's challenge is probably similar to challenges
What
that
up,
we
Poopy D?
had in the '90s. With the Cowboys Super Bowl team, there's a lot of noise around the team, and typically when people talk about noise, it's negative, but that positive noise is a challenge as well. And when you've won a Super Bowl or won a couple of them, there's all of that stuff that you have to contend with. But I would go back to just the program that Sean has built out there. Obviously a fantastic coach and a fantastic leader. And I think he understands and has his team understanding the importance of what Nick Saban would call process. Get the right people together and do things the right way each and every day and focus on that, and the results will come. And so I think lock in on that, double down on that. I do think the guys he has on his team are the right kind of guys who will do anything they can to win. And when they're focused on that rather than individual accolades, I think you have a chance. And it's certainly a talented team. He's a fantastic coach. It's an amazing program. I think the biggest thing you do is you focus on yourself. I'm going to give you all the coach speak, but this is what you got to do. Focus on yourself and focus on each day. And there's going to be a lot of noise over the course of 5 or 6 months and 17 games. When they win, it won't be they won by enough. And when they lose, the sky will be falling. But you just fight through all that stuff. You eliminate that noise. You focus on yourselves and what you need to do each day. And I think Sean has built a program based on those things. No doubt they'll continue to do it.
Let me tell you something what you just said. And I think this is the thing that people are underestimating about the monumental task that Sean McVay has in front of him. I don't think people are understanding this. What did I tell y'all? If the Rams don't go to the Super Bowl and win it, it's a failure. They must, especially if Aaron Donald comes out of retirement, they must win the Super Bowl. You don't make the move they made and not win the Super Bowl. It is an utter failure if the Rams don't win the Super Bowl. Now, this is what Nick Saban is talking about. It all goes into this poison pill. Having a team so good that you're expected to win. Having a team so good that even the players start getting the attitude of nobody can beat us. Do y'all remember there was another team that made a similar move last year, and they were going around saying that there was one of the players on their team talking about nobody can beat us. We may go undefeated. Anybody remember who that team was? Who was the team last year? They made a similar move, a similar trade with a team in the NFC, and everybody penciled that team into the Super Bowl. Anybody remember that team? Anybody remember that player? Who was the team that made a Super Bowl move last year? And the same people crying about the Cowboys didn't make that Super Bowl move were applauding, and touting that move. And guess what? That team didn't win the Super Bowl. I'm going to give it a little bit longer. Anybody remember the team that made a Super Bowl move last year? Made a trade similar to the Rams. And everybody penciled them into the Super Bowl. And they didn't go to the Super Bowl. Let me go one more time. Anybody remember that team? Jeremy Betts, the Green Bay Packers. Yes, the Green Bay Packers. Do we not realize the Packers made the same move last year? I know now a lot of people are saying, no, it's not the same move. No, it was the same move. And if you'd have asked people last year, it was a better move. Because the Green Bay Packers defense, when it was healthy, even before Michael Parsons, that defense was nasty. And when they got Michael Parsons, the defense looked unstoppable. But you know what people didn't figure in? The same thing they're not figuring in with the Rams. You know what people are not figuring in? They're not figuring in that Matthew Stafford could actually have a bad season. They're not figuring in that Puka Nacua could have some more problems. They're not figuring in that players can get one or two. All it takes is one or two players to get injured. And a super team that was a super team now is not even an average team. And that's what happened to the Green Bay Packers. All those wide receivers, the guy they drafted last year, everybody thought he was going to be the best thing since sliced bread. You're talking about the running backs. The running back got hurt. The defense got hurt. Michael Parsons got hurt. You got to play all the games, man. You got to play all the games. People can put you 17-0 on paper all they want to. You still got to play the games. This is what they're talking about. It's one thing to have the most talented team, and it's another thing to have the most team. It's another thing to have the best team. I'm not sure the Rams have the best team yet. On paper, they look like the most talented team, and I'm predicating that on Aaron Donald because I know he's coming out of retirement. We just don't know when. It is dangerous to start penciling in a team for the Super Bowl because they are the most talented team. Cowboys don't have that problem. Cowboys aren't the most talented team. People are saying things about the Cowboys because they're making better moves. But nobody, or at least not a lot of people, but they are clearly saying the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. And if they start buying into that, man, it's a long season. I tell you what, no team in the NFL should be afraid of the Rams. Every team in the NFL should be excited to play the Rams. Should be excited to play them. Oh, y'all the Super Bowl favorites? I would love to play the Super Bowl favorites, especially if I'm a good team. I guarantee you, man, there will be teams. There will be teams that when they go against the Rams, They're going to be fired up. I don't care if they have Aaron Donald and bring back whoever else they want to play for them this year. There are some teams that run from teams like the Rams. And there are other teams that say, bring it on. Bring it on. Let's look at this Rams schedule real quick since we're on that schedule. Let me read what Demetrius Noel says, because he's talking about this team that was a favorite to win the World Cup. Demetrius Noel said, Brazil lost 4 starters a week before the World Cup. Injuries is a cruel reminder of what you thought would be. They are still humans. Yes, sir. Hey, Frank Lawrence, I don't think we've made quite the move yet that people look at us and say they made that Super Bowl move. I don't think we have that problem. But the Rams got that problem. They have that problem. Man, when you make a trade like Myles Garrett, that's a Super Bowl move. Everybody, and I do believe the Cowboys have been making Super Bowl moves all along. But man, when you talking about making a move like this one, the expectations is nothing but the Super Bowl. It is nothing but the Super Bowl. Let's look at this schedule. For as much as people keep talking about the Cowboys schedule, you better stop playing. Let's stop acting like the Rams play in an easy division. I'm telling you right now, divisional game, Rams and the 49ers. I promise you, Kyle Shanahan is not afraid of the Rams. The Giants, they're going to probably get ran through. The Broncos, with that defense, I don't care who they have. The Broncos defense is not playing the Rams defense. The Broncos defense is playing the Rams offense. I'm telling you, the Broncos are saying, bring it on. The Eagles, they got a good defense too. They'll be saying, bring it on. The Bills, they will be saying, bring it on. Cardinals, Rams, Chargers will probably say, bring it on. Won't say it won't mean much. They'll run through them, the Commanders, the Cardinals. They'll beat the Packers. The Chiefs will be saying, bring it on. The 49ers again will be saying, bring it on. The Cowboys will be saying, bring it on. The Seahawks, not once but twice, will be saying, bring it on. And the Buccaneers will be saying, bring it on. Man, let me tell you something. For everybody who think the Rams are about to cruise to 17-0, 16-1, 15-2, talking about the Cowboys schedule, shoot. Watch what I tell you. These teams are going to be saying, bring it on to the Rams. And Aaron Donald's been out of football for what, 2 years? Okay. Keep thinking it's easy. If you're a quarterback and you get off the couch and you come and play the game, that's no big deal. You're a quarterback. Defensive tackle? Okay. Let's see. I don't know why people think this Rams schedule, like they're going to just run through that schedule. They ain't running through this schedule. I don't know what people talking about. They ain't running through this schedule. They're not running through this schedule, man. They're not running through this schedule. Shoot. Man, I'm so excited for this season, man. I'm excited for this season, man. I'm excited. They ain't running through that schedule. They playing some serious teams on that schedule, man. Yeah, Daughter Boy said, I said we might be jumping the gun on Map. He has to stay healthy. Yeah, it be protected. That's not an easy task as far as the Super Bowl. We're not ready this year. We have to learn a whole new system on defense. I think we're ready on offense. And Donald Moore, I think this is why everybody keeps saying the Cowboys need to just be average on defense. They're saying we just need to be average. And again, the Super Bowl isn't just about playing other teams. The Super Bowl is about getting lucky too. Getting some plays, getting some calls to go your way. Some other teams, calls don't go their way. Not you being healthy, but other teams staying healthy. There's a lot that goes into this. But I'm telling us, if we think that the Cowboys schedule is hard, I'm just telling us, the Rams ain't running through this thing the way people think they are. Myles Garrett, last time I checked, he don't play quarterback. He don't play quarterback. Last time I checked. He ain't throwing the ball to himself. So I'm excited about this season, just like I'm excited about the Cowboys. You know, we'll be one game at a time once the season starts. We'll be one game at a time, but I'm excited. Yeah, Demetrius said it was only last year that the Rams finally beat the 49ers. The 49ers are 8-3 against the Rams. Yeah. Quinn, this is their Achilles heel. Their offensive line is weak. They got guys coming off injuries. We got to see what those guys are going to be coming off injury. We're going to see. We are going to see. I'm excited. It's going to be a great season. Frank Lawrence said, gee, what I mean is the Cowboys are always compared to Tom Landry. Yep, that's true. Yeah, they're compared against themselves. Yeah, no matter how many games the Cowboys win since 96, they just be saying big losers every year because we didn't win the Super Bowl. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people remember them 90s Cowboys, man. A lot of people remember them. All right. Got a couple of more segments. These will be some quick hits right here. Boy, I'm about to show y'all something that's going to blow y'all's mind. I don't know if y'all saw this huge controversy a few days ago. Lamar Jackson went from number 2 in the top 100 players. He went from number 2, I believe, to number 62. And this has people losing their minds. Everybody's like, what is going on? Why in the world would Lamar Jackson be number 62? Well, I can tell you why he's number 62. Because a lot of people keep looking at the fact that Lamar Jackson keeps getting to these big games. And Lamar Jackson, I mean, people want to talk about Dak Prescott. No. Lamar Jackson is clearly the reason they have lost some of these games. Oh, okay, hey, lost in translation. Lost in translation. You hadn't heard this? Boy, they were losing their mind, lost in translation. People are hot about this. Now, lost in translation. You know what makes this even more crazier? What makes this even more crazier, Cowboys fans? Was it 69th, Glenn Harrison? That's even worse. What makes this even crazier is that the rankings from ESPN, that's coming from ESPN, scouts, NFL executives, and coaches. Do you know what makes the top 100 players so crazy? This is the players saying this stuff. What? This is the players saying this stuff, y'all. What? Man, it is nothing like what your peers are saying about you. Now, the reason why I bring this up, I bring this up for a reason. I think they've gotten down to about number 60, somewhere in the 60s, right? Let me show you something that's crazy. Are y'all ready for something that nobody's talking about? Are y'all ready for something crazy? Watch this. Let me show you something crazy.
He's had a big season.
So when we look at the top 100 players, so they've already went from 100 to 91. I just want you to look at something. I'm going to run through these real quick. I just want you to look at the screen. When you go through 100 through 91, guess what's missing? There are no well, let me ask you. Did y'all notice that there are no players from a certain team? Y'all notice this? There are no players from a certain team in 100 through 91. I wonder who that team is. Let's look at 90 through 81.
can't believe we're finally doing this.
90 through 81. Anybody notice anything strange? 90 through 81. Anybody notice anything strange? 90 through 81. Anybody notice there are some players missing from a certain team? Anybody realize who those players are yet? Let's look at 80 through 71. Jabril Quinn, have you caught on to this yet? Quinn, have you seen this list? Look at this. Look. Now we're in the 80s. Look. Anybody notice some certain players missing? Hold on a second. Nisi, what is going on, my sister? Good to see you. Cowboys fans, have y'all noticed? We've went through 71 and there are some players missing from a certain team. Let's go to 70. These are the 70s. Lost in translation. This is what blew everybody's mind. Look at where Lamar Jackson is. This blew everybody's mind. Didn't blow my mind. It didn't blow my mind. I'm actually not shocked at this. He's been the reason why they've lost some of these games. Now, they haven't done 62 through 51. Did y'all notice? Did y'all notice? No Dallas Cowboys. No Dallas Cowboys. Do y'all know what that's actually telling us? If you don't think the hype train for the Dallas Cowboys is speeding up, you don't see what's happening here. You don't see what's happening here. I got a strange feeling. The Dallas Cowboys, when they get to the top 50 players in the league, I got a feeling the Cowboys are going to register no less than 5 players on the top 100. I got a feeling the Cowboys are going to have 5 players in the top 50. Let's look at these players who we believe, or at least I believe. These are the players that when it's all said and done on the top 100 players, they're going to be in the top 100 players when the whole list is released. And the reason why I know this is that the ESPN list, to me, is the indicator. Because I believe some of these players are going to be thinking the same way. Let's go to the Cowboys roster one more time. Who don't think that George Pickens is not who thinks that George Pickens is not going to make the list? I believe George Pickens is going to make the top 100 list. I believe CeeDee Lamb is going to make the top 100 list. I believe Ty Smith is making the top 100 list. Maybe Cooper Beebe. Maybe. Ty Booker, only one season, we'll see. Dak Prescott will make the top 100 list. I believe the Cowboys offensively will have 4 players on the top 100 list. Y'all tell me what you think. I believe there will be 4 Dallas Cowboys before it's all said and done. There will be 4 Dallas Cowboys from the offense alone on the top 100 list. Let's go to the defense. I believe we will at least have 1 player, and that player will be Quinnen Williams. I believe Quinnen Williams will make the top 100 list. I believe he makes it. We're going to have no less than 5 Dallas Cowboys on the top 50. The expectations are going to continue to go up for the Cowboys because people are saying and they're noticing the Cowboys have added some very good pieces. I believe we'll have no less than 5 players. I believe Ty Smith. I don't think they'll do Booker in the first season. It won't surprise me if Booker or BB makes it. But I think for sure it will be Ty Smith. The ESPN rankings have pretty much already told us this. Yeah, we're going to have 5 players on that list, at least, minimum. 5 Points of the Star said that's called making gravy from scratch. Yeah. We're going to have 5 players on there, Gerald. We're going to have 5 players on there, man. We're going to have 5 players on this list. And what I'm telling us is what I noticed about this top 100 list. This is from the players. That's what really makes this crazy. It's from the players. And when the Cowboys 5 players make that list, this league is telling us something, man. Cowboys are doing some things right. I can't wait to see how this, and I'm not going to say I can't wait, but I'm very excited to see how this all shakes down.
Yes! Here we go!
All right, let me give us another quick segment. The 20 greatest coaches. I found this the other day. There's this, I guess, a list of the 20 greatest coaches. But it's not the 20 greatest coaches that I'm concerned with. What I'm looking at here are the Dallas Cowboys coaches who are on that list. How many coaches do y'all think as far as the top 20 coaches go? CBS list of 20 all-time greatest coaches. How many coaches do y'all think make the list from the Dallas Cowboys? How many coaches? Of the 20 greatest coaches of all time by CBS, can y'all name the 3 greatest coaches? Who do y'all think those coaches are going to be from the Dallas Cowboys? How many Cowboys made the list of the 20 greatest coaches? Ray Lawrence said that Rossini voted Vrabel number 1. Crazy. All right. Gregory Hicks says 2. Jacob Jackson says 2. Jabril Quinn. He says at least 3. Well, let's see what it says here. Says CBS Sports has revealed its list of 20 greatest head coaches in NFL history. With 3 of them, 15% of the entire collection having roamed the Cowboys sidelines during their legendary careers. These are the coaches. Number 14, Jimmy Johnson. Demetrius Noel, I haven't seen the list, but I think you got it right. Number 14, Jimmy Johnson. Few coaches have been as impactful in the NFL's modern era as Johnson, who in just 3 years, CBS notes, took the Cowboys from 1-15 to Super Bowl champions. That's obviously just part of Johnson's legacy. His story can't be told without bringing up the Super Bowl repeat in '93 and how it all came after he orchestrated a total roster rebuild unlike any that had ever been seen. Yeah. From the Herschel Walker trade to creating revolutionary draft value chart that is still used in some form by every team today, to managing a locker room full of some of the most outspoken, colorful, and even notorious characters to ever play the game, Johnson built a dynasty and changed the sport, all with no prior NFL experience whatsoever. 2 of the 6 CBS writers who created the list had Johnson ranked 14. 2 had him at number 15. 1 placed him 17th. 1 left him off the list entirely. Number 13, Bill Parcells. Yeah, this may be the one that everybody left off. Demetrius Noel said Bill Parcells, and Bill Parcells is right. Even though he didn't win necessarily with the Cowboys. If you need a coach jumpstart to your franchise, Bill Parcells is your guy. 4 times during his Hall of Fame career, Parcells turned a struggling team into a contender in short order. He did it for the Cowboys. Parcells finished 10-6 and took the team back to the playoffs after taking over. Let's see. Parcells came out of retirement to take over the Cowboys team that had turned in 3 consecutive 5-win seasons under Dave Campo. Took the team to 10-6 back to the playoffs. And so, of course, that's why he made the list. Then, of course, who I believe could probably be one of the top 5 coaches to ever coach the game. Tom Landry was revolutionary. Yeah, Tom Landry. I don't even think he should be number 10. I think he should be somewhere in the top 5. It said it's sometimes easy to forget that the man in the hat started his legendary coaching career with a winless season and didn't get over the 500 mark until his 7th year. That is a streak that would never occur in today's NFL. You're right. Nor would Landry's overall 29-year tenure as a head coach. Nope, wouldn't happen. But few men have had such an impact on the game beyond just wins and losses and longevity. Dallas' success, points out CBS, was a byproduct of the Cowboys' innovative scouting department and Landry's innovative mind that put his players in advantageous situations. While his offense was among the first to use the shotgun consistently, Landry's real coaching legacy is the creation of the 4-3 flex defense that wreaked havoc on opposing offenses. The Landry's teams only won 2 Super Bowls is misleading, as they lost their 3 other appearances under by a combined 11 points, and that doesn't count the additional 7 times they came up just short in the conference game losses. Wow. 3 CBS writers ranked Landry 8th overall for their list. He also got 1 vote each at number 9, number 10, and number 13. Yeah, Landry was different, man. Revolutionized the game also. Yep, revolutionized the game. I believe that Tom Landry should probably be in the top 5, but that's just me. Maybe I'm biased because I'm a Cowboys fan. Brian Cooper said, we took the tour at the Star in Frisco. They said that Jimmy Johnson got it where the Cowboys got it, that the NFL gets no cut of merchandising from the Cowboys. And now you know why those calls go against the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, sir. Boy, yeah, you're right. I could definitely see that, man. I could definitely see that. All right, last segment for the day. Man, let me tell you something. Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin may not be the most talented wide receiver to ever play the game. But when you think about the overall package, that is Michael Irvin. I do believe that Michael Irvin, at least in my book, Michael Irvin, man, there are maybe 2 wide receivers I take over Michael Irvin. And I'm talking 2. And it'd have to be a really good conversation. There are only 2 wide receivers I would ever consider taking over Michael Irvin. Jerry Rice, number 1. Jerry Rice was, him and Michael Irvin, they are 2 of the greatest wide receivers you'll ever see in your life. And Jerry Rice was an Iron Man. Iron Man. Played, I think, into his 40s. Jerry Rice was incredible. And the other wide receiver that I would consider taking over Michael Irvin is Calvin Johnson. Unfortunately, Calvin Johnson played for a terrible, terrible Detroit Lions team. I don't think people understand. People try to compare stats. I saw where people try to compare stats with Dez Bryant and Calvin Johnson in their first few years and all these different things. Man, let me tell y'all something. Dez Bryant was a freak of nature. This dude, Calvin Johnson, was made in a factory on another planet. When you get the name Megatron, when you are 6'5", 245 pounds, and you run a 4.340, you're different. Had that man ever played on another team, if that man could have played on a winning team, he'd have destroyed every record in the record books. And it wasn't that Matthew Stafford. People don't understand. The Matthew Stafford people are saying now, Matthew Stafford wasn't quite that quarterback then. And they just didn't have the team. Calvin Johnson was an incredible, incredible wide receiver. But even when I think about those two wide receivers, what I give to Michael Irvin over those wide receivers, and why I would even struggle taking those wide receivers over Michael Irvin, it is his mentality. Michael Irvin's mentality drove the Dallas Cowboys. Michael Irvin partied like it was 1999. And when he hit the field, he was a monster. Yeah, Gerald Jackson, Calvin Johnson was a cheat code. Jacob Jackson said he ran a 4.3 on an injured hamstring. Yeah, he was unbelievable. Calvin Johnson, I'm telling you, was unbelievable. Demetrius said no one wanted to work out with Jerry. Ricky Waters said he almost died trying to keep up with Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice was incredible. That's why these are the only two wide receivers that I would have a conversation about. But other than that, people can talk to me all day long about T.O. There isn't a time or a place or a universe I would take Terrell Owens over Michael Irvin. Nowhere. No way, no how would I ever take Terrell Owens over Michael Irvin. And Poobie D, I like your two selections. I would never take Randy Moss. I would never take Randy Moss over Michael Irvin. Never. Never would I ever. And the reason why I wouldn't do it, the thing that Moss was more talented than Michael Irvin. Terrell Owens was more talented than Michael Irvin. But the thing that they're missing, it wasn't the talent of Michael Irvin. It was the will of Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin's will was on a whole nother level. Michael Irvin had a winner's mentality. Losing didn't compute with this man. Losing didn't compute with Michael Irvin. He drove the 90s Cowboys. And when you think about the talent level of Michael Irvin versus all these other wide receivers, and when you look at what he accomplished, it's incredible. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. I'm talking about mentality. I'm talking about his drive. I'm talking about the teammate that he was. Just everything that he was. I would have a hard time. And I would even put Michael Irvin above Calvin Johnson in that area. The only one I could have a conversation with once I put the mentality in is Jerry Rice. because Jerry Rice had a mentality just like Michael Irvin. Just like Michael Irvin. They were just different, man. These two wide receivers were different. Somebody named Katsu over here on X, he posted something about Michael Irvin. And think about this, Caitlin. Michael Irvin was like this in college. Everybody knew Michael Irvin was going to be a demon. Everybody knew. Because if I'm not mistaken, Tom Landry drafted Michael Irvin. What does that tell you? Tom Landry? If I'm not mistaken, Tom Landry drafted him. Correct me if I'm wrong. Katsu. Michael Irvin says he won 3 Super Bowls and still lives in hell every day. Listen to this thing about Michael Irvin. This is why you would want Michael Irvin on your team if you had an all-time team. It's Michael Irvin. Check this out.
All I knew about was winning championships. If you didn't win, dude, I won 3 Super Bowls and I'm crying about I should have won 5. I live in hell thinking about I should have won 2 more.
This right here. This part. That part right. Man, I got to play this again. This is why I tell y'all all the time when I talk about Michael Irvin. Man, I ain't taking no T.O. I'm not taking no T.O. I'm not taking Randy Moss. Now, if you're talking about just talent, that's a different conversation. But when you talk about talent, mentality, teammate, all the intangibles, as Gerald Jackson is saying, Michael Irvin. Man, I can't even compare those wide receivers. I was laughing, T.O. talking about when you talk about the greatest, Michael Irvin not even in the conversation. Nah, bro. You not in the conversation when it comes to the greatest and winning them chips. You over here winning the court of public opinion. Meanwhile, this man was winning chips. This man was instrumental in a team winning a chip. Instrumental. Let me play this again. This is the kind of mentality you want on your team.
All I knew about was winning championships. If you didn't win, dude, I won 3 Super Bowls and I'm crying about I should have won 5. I live in hell thinking about I should have won 2 more.
This man said he's living in hell. That's the mentality we need back on the Dallas Cowboys. This man said he's living in hell after winning 3 Super Bowls. Look at the look on this man's face. That don't look like somebody who won 3 Super Bowls. This don't look like a man who's won 3 Super Bowls. This looks like a man who played the game and never won a Super Bowl. This man is looking up right now like he never won a Super Bowl. Boy, I wish we could get a man like, boy, this is what you want on the team right here, boy. This is what you want on the team, man. This is what you want on the team. Boy, this man said he's still living in hell, boy.
We got one thing we're doing here, and that's winning. And if you can't be a part of this, literally, I don't need no friends. I just need wins.
What? This is why you want Michael Irvin. This man said, I don't need no friends. I just need wins. But Michael Irvin, man. Man, I'm telling you. Michael Irvin, man. I have to listen to Michael Irvin ever so often, boy. He'll remind you, this is what is missing, man. This is what's missing. Shoot, Quinn, I'm with you, Quinn. He made it, bro. Jeremy Betts, I agree. I think they should at least won 2. I think if Jerry extends Jimmy, I think they win 2 or 3 more. I believe the way people talk about the Patriots in the Belichick and Brady era, they would have been talking about the Cowboys in the Jimmy Johnson, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, and Emmitt Smith era. You'd have been talking the same way. This is incredible, man.
Thing we're doing here, and that's winning. And if you can't be a part of this, literally, I don't need no friends. I just need wins. You know, and the only way you can be my friend is some way you can help me win.
Whoa! There it is. There it is. This man's always be my friend. Find a way to help me win. That's it.
That's just the reality. All I knew.
That's this man's reality. That's this man's reality, man. Boy, this is what we need on Dallas Cowboys, man. This is what we need on Dallas Cowboys. That's a different type of mentality right there, boy. That's a different type of mentality. That is a different type of mentality. Boy, that is crazy work. That's a different type of mentality, man. Frank Lawrence said, who cares if Dak wins the MVP? Same media clowns vote on NFL MVP multiple times. Associated Press selected Dida Russini to be one of the panel. Boy, you owe Dida Russini neck, Frank Lawrence. Boy, you want her neck. But I agree with you. And I think that's why Dak doesn't care what the media thinks. I think an MVP will mean something to him, but I don't think it'll mean something to him. Jeremy Best said, where's that mentality at? They need that in the locker room now. I hope it's back. Yeah, we'll see. I'm with you, man. Shoot. Rod, he said, those 2 Super Bowls were lost on no cut of merchandise that caused boogie. Yes, sir. Carol said Mike was getting slackers cut, boy. Pointing jokers out. He's here for a check. Coach Johnson gotta go. Yeah, man. Justin Harris said Brady would not have made it without those. He would have made it. I don't think he might would have made as many. Yeah, Brady was getting one. Brady's got that type of mentality too. Brady's got an insane mentality. He does. He's got an insane mentality. Yeah, Worley, they all were beasts, man. Yeah, Aikman was a beast in that little era there. Oh, Nisi said, surround yourself with like-minded people. That's it. That's it. That's it, boy. Country Field, boy. Hey, man, that's it right there, boy. Yeah. Hey, Quinn, I'm with you. You know what, though? The Deflategate don't bother me as much, though, because I remember in that game, I think it was against the Colts, and they called themselves telling on Tom Brady, talking about, yeah, man, Tom Brady was deflating the footballs. Now, Troy Aikman kind of made this known that everybody does stuff to the footballs. So I don't think the footballs were a big deal, because they came in with regulation footballs. And Tom Brady even went even harder on them and destroyed them with the quote-unquote regulation footballs. Nah, them footballs didn't mean nothing. No, they didn't mean nothing. No, Tom Brady is the GOAT. Yep, some things went his way, but Tom Brady is the GOAT. You want Tom Brady to be your quarterback. He's different too. Marcus Marshall said, my best friend in college, Keenan Carpenter, went to Miami with Michael Irvin when he was a freshman. He said Michael was a prop 48, so he could not play his first year. Man, Mike is different, man. Yeah, Mike different. Yeah, I try to watch Michael's Locker Room podcast. I'm afraid he's still all power. You said he's still powdered up, Frank Lawrence? Man, let me play that one more time, then we go get out of here. Let me play this in its entirety, boy. Boy, Michael Irvin is different, man. Shotty need to play this. Shotty need to play this for the team, man.
All I knew about was winning championships. If you didn't win, dude, I won 3 Super Bowls, and I'm crying about I should have won 5. I live in hell thinking about I should have won 2 more. We got one thing we're doing here, and that's winning. And if you can't be a part of this, literally, I don't need no friends. I just need wins. You know, and the only way you can be my friend is some way you can help me win. That's just the reality.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah. Let me show you something. I don't know if you saw this in the background. It flashed up so fast. Let me see if I can put it on the screen. And I totally agree with this. Look, it flashed so fast you can't see it. Look at what the background says. champion mindset. Yeah. Yeah, boy. You ain't lying, Pooper D. Mike was a tough man, didn't have them alligator arms. Demetrius Noel said, Gina, you know the World Cup that the teams will be playing on Sunday is not the real World Cup. Okay, explain to me. Yeah, Frank Lawrence, Michael Irvin is my favorite Cowboy. Yeah, he's in my top 3. I agree with you. He's in my top 3, man. It's hard, though, man. It's been so many great Cowboys. So many great Cowboys, man. Country Field say, ain't no telling how many they could have won if the egos of Jerry and Jimmy didn't get in the way. Yep, I agree with you. Yep, I agree with you. Yeah, the playmaker is legendary. I agree with you, man. Man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me today. Appreciate y'all staying with me through a power outage. I guess y'all didn't feel the power outage. It was a power outage over here. I mean, people who watch the replay, they're going to catch that. They'll probably catch that pause because there was a power outage over here. Note, and I don't know if it got the other stream back up and running. But nevertheless, man, great Cowboys show today with the best chat on YouTube. I really believe that Dak Prescott is going to be in that conversation for MVP the entire season, Cowboys Nation. I believe Dak Prescott is going to be in that conversation, especially if the Cowboys are winning. Also, George Pickens, Cowboys fans, don't get mad when people start talking about George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. Consider yourselves blessed. We are blessed that we can have a conversation of which one of these wide receivers are the best when we know they're both top 5 wide receivers. It don't matter who you put in the front. As me and Bass say, we got both of them. BOFFEM. We got both of them. And I'm excited. Von Miller. As cool as it would be for Von Miller to be with the Cowboys, I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. Rashawn Gary. I think Rashawn Gary is going to be better than people believe. I believe Rashawn Gary is going to be way better than people believe. Super chat from Byron Joe David. What up, Byron Joe? Oh, boy, Byron Joe David. Yeah, they changed the rules for Brady. You said his career would have been over in the set. I agree. Yeah, they weren't protecting quarterbacks in the 70s. Yeah, he'd have been gone a long time ago, bro. He'd have been gone a long time ago. I think he could have played in any era. But I don't think he'd have lasted as long. Them boys was different back then. Mina Kimes Power Ranks. Dallas Cowboys went from 8 to 15. I don't remember the guy who she was talking to. Went from 8 to 15. Garrett, great stories with Jason Garrett. That was a great story. Especially with the catch with Michael Irvin. That was a great story. Changed the whole trajectory of the Cowboys. Top 100 players. Y'all stay tuned, Dallas Cowboy fans. I believe we're going to have 5 players in the top 50. And I am not going to be surprised if Ty Smith, Dak Prescott, George Pickens, and CeeDee Lamb are somewhere in the 30s and above. Again, top 20 coaches. Brian Schottenheimer is, man, if Brian Schottenheimer could win a Super Bowl for the Cowboys, man, Brian Schottenheimer is going to write his own ticket. He will write his own ticket if he wins a Super Bowl. And if he can win 2 Super Bowls, we might be talking about Brian Schottenheimer one day in the greatest coaches in the Dallas Cowboys history. And then finally, that last segment with Irvin. Oh, that was great. That was great. I'm going to make sure I release that as a clip. Michael Irvin, my top 3 favorite Cowboy. Just incredible. So inspiring. Man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Best chat on YouTube. Until the next time, DC4L, God bless. Let's talk Cowboys when we talk facts. Peace.